For now, let's put the loadout part can go later. Just for now, you're gonna have a loadout provided, and we'll walk through most of the items that are
I already
currently in
have
the.
that loadout? Or am I naked?
Yep. No,
Oh.
I've given you a loadout.
Ooh, Zeusing things. Wow.
Yeah. I've been given Zeus. Been trusted with the burden. Okay.
Damn, you're trusted to be
All
a
right.
fucking god. Okay, anyway, let's get to it.
Okay. So, just a disclaimer. First of all, Cat Medical is a very diverse mod for the reason that it is very configurable. The configure page in the add-on options is, I think it has like 5 different entries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different entries actually. And it's also slightly influenced by Ace Medical, meaning that there are a bunch of ways that Cat Medical can work. This is just one variation of Cat Medical because it's this specific server. So all of the experiences you will have here might not apply to a different server. Just a quick example. It really depends on what you have access in the arsenal to. Let's say you have no way of getting O negative blood from the arsenal, you'll have to draw blood from someone. And then you have to make sure that it is actually the right blood type. And on this server, we don't have that issue. We just get O negative blood we can use for everyone. This is just one way that Cat Medical can be different. There can be further complications with more intricate systems. The server in general is quite nice, as in the hardcore features are a little bit toned down. They can still occur, but they're not like very obnoxious like on some other servers. So keep that in mind when we go through this, that this is this one server, but I will try to give it pretty much a complete explanation of everything except for kidney damage. I've just never seen this available on any server so far, and this is why I'm just gonna
Could you
not go into that
briefly
too
touch
far.
on it? If you know about it, could you briefly touch on it at some point?
Yeah, I will. I will. I
Thank
will.
you.
I will
wanted,
just
I want
make
this
some
to-
references.
Yeah, I want this to be complete. I want this to be one and done, baby. I want, like, I learned from you. If you seem like a very knowledgeable guy that would really go the further mile of understanding everything. So everything you understand, share with me. And I want this to be, so as you said, not all servers are going to have the same configuration. And in so much as you can, give me what you know so that if ever I do find myself on another server, I can still survive as a medic. Sound good?
Sweet.
Oh,
Sounds
you
good.
do medical?
Okay. Yeah, we're doing medical.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so just in the training, make sure that if there's anything, the training buddy, the training dummy is over there. It's basically my actual character, and I'm going to be remote controlling an AI. So if we want to create a casualty, what we're going to do is we're going to shoot this poor guy, and then we can actually use that to
Okay, give me
simulate
1 second. I
casualties.
need to get some water, okay? Cool beans?
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
How you doing, BMO?
Well, I just got back from college, so
You imagine going to
Yeah.
college.
well, I went college for level 2 public service, level 2 carpentry joinery, and now I've gone back for service and catering.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started that this week. So I got all my chef shit and all my waiter stuff.
Nice. That sounds cool.
So gotta do that. And I think once I've done that, I'm probably gonna like sign up for the army and then
Hell yeah.
work experience. But it is what it is. So you're just doing all cat right now?
We're just doing cat medical, just a walkthrough basically, and a little bit of just a cat medical guide, just walk through everything that's basically covered in that, and also a little bit of methodology of actually how to apply it in what order and everything, which is not necessarily in the cat guide.
The cat, one of the cat guides was just like a bunch of numbers and it was like all over the fucking place.
Yeah, it's I think it like takes a couple of uses to figure out what you need and whatnot. It's just a lot of it is written together pretty quickly, with care, but pretty quickly. So it could just seem a bit out of context, you know, like everyone edits their own part. Let's say
I think
cardiac arrest treatment, that one
yeah,
is-
I think
was
the
added by someone, so-
I think they throw too much medication at you. I feel like I'm gonna assume most of the stuff is just the same thing, but some do it better than others.
Mm, that's really only for the painkillers. Everything else has its own niche. They actually are pretty strict on what medical stuff they add. If you look into their Discord, they actually deny a lot of requests for new things. And that's the most criticism you see for any request for adding stuff is,
Well, what about
oh, does it actually
equipment?
have new? Hmm?
What about equipment though?
With the equipment, yeah, that one I can see. Like some things you just don't necessarily need,
Like they
but it's
give
still pretty
you
worth it.
so much equipment. Like I look at the equipment, like so I can look at medication, and I can find out what medication can do real fast
Mm-hmm.
just looking at the code. But like all these like different types of like equipment, and I'm like, okay, but what does this do? Is this just better than this? Like, should I just use this instead?
Yeah, with some, like for example, let's compare the defibrillator, the two different ones, AD and ADX. While you can in the config make them like one more effective, you can also just keep them both at the same level, and then it's just a difference of what you can do with it. The ADX can show you the actual CCG, ECG, and the AED, the defibrillator, you'll always need to analyze, charge, push. And with the ADX, if you know that someone will need a charge and you don't need to analyze because you know what's happening, then you can just charge and push. So they
Okay.
do have their own differences in use. It's just takes a bit of time to look into.
I'm back.
One thing where definitely is the case is the Pocket BVM and the BVM where one can utilize a portable oxygen tank, the other one can. So it's just like one's better than the other.
Right
Okay.
up.
So, just to begin things, Cat Medical, like I said, diverse mod. We're going to look at everything through the lens of an algorithm that's called March. March is an acronym, and it stands for, like the M stands for something, the A stands for something. And we're just going to do one casualty where we basically look at everything through the lens of this algorithm. March is part of the TCCC, or Tactical Combat Casualty Care. And while most of it is only applicable to the real world and it's just not simulated in Arma, a bunch of parts are still pretty relevant. So, for example, while the third part of TCCC is the tactical evacuation in Arma, we don't call a medevac to airlift them out of the AO and then they're gonna go to hospital. We
Boy,
don't
do
have
I
that
wish
part.
we did.
Sometimes I do too, but in the end, like I see why we don't.
Yeah. Not everybody's a
Okay.
realism junkie like me and you, maybe. Yeah, they
All
wouldn't
right,
want to.
so we are going to look to the first phase of TCCC, which is the care under fire. Now, care under fire assumes that we are still in an active combat zone, and this poor guy is being lit the fuck up. And now you have to think about what do you do, just instinctually. What do you think is the first medical relevant step that we do here?
You taught me about marriage already, and I forgot all the rest of it. But I do remember bleeding
You
is
punch
first.
the fuck out of him.
Bleeding. You take care of the bleeding
So-
first.
So, would you say that? Well, this is a little bit of a catch 17. No, what's it called again?
Catch
I don't
22.
know. Anyways, but it's no, but actually that's not what I meant. It's I try to use a German saying, but it doesn't work. So basically, what we're gonna do now is the first medically relevant step is to eliminate the threat because that's actually the thing that's harming you.
Oh, okay.
So
Toga
so
over
step number
here.
1 with care under fire is to stay in the
Shoot
fight. Return
Toga.
fire as long as you can. It's the most important thing is to return fire and get cover.
All right, fucking trees, kill them. Let's kill the environment.
So the
All
next
right,
thing
2
is
trees down,
actually
and I
if you
jam my weapon.
let's say that you're medically versed and the person who's being shot is not. First thing you will do is to instruct them what to do, which is to cover them and tell them to self-aid. Now, when doing self-aid, there's a couple of things that are pretty important. Let's all walk up to this guy and just check his medical menu, okay? All right. So this guy right now, he has a medium bruise to the chest. That is not an issue. It's just causing pain for now. The other one is a small velocity wound. So in cat
Wait,
medical, there's
wait, wait,
different
wait,
types of
wait, wait,
wounds.
wait. I don't see. How do I know? How do I know the medium bruise? I can't see that anywhere.
Just
Right.
click
No,
on it.
you click on the torso. Right. Do you know how the menu works? I should maybe go through that first. It kind of
I
depends.
just see. I see on the left side.
Do you see Shakespeare there? As when you say examine and treatment, it says Shakespeare.
What? Examine and treatment.
Yeah. If you open the medical menu on the guy, like the actual menu, not just the interact or whatever.
How do I open the medical menu?
It
You can
should
press
be
H on it by default.
By default.
H while looking
Yeah,
at him.
look at him. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is Shakespeare. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. This is the medical menu. Now, in the medical menu, depending on the settings, you will see the blood loss. You will see if someone is bleeding. Those are the
Yep.
yellow. This is the yellow text over there. And on the right leg, you will now see, if you click on it, you'll now see a list of things that's wrong with it. So there is a list of wounds, for example, 1 time, small velocity wound.
Small velocity.
So this
wound.
guy
Okay.
is bleeding right now. So the first thing that we do in March, the algorithm that I was talking about, M stands for massive hemorrhage. If you've been shot, we count it as a massive hemorrhage. If you have a paper cut, we do not count it as a massive hemorrhage. In general, this is a slow bleeding, but you should still stop it. So what we will do is the fastest way usually, and the one that's most reliable, is to use a tourniquet. For
Okay.
all the bleedings that you have on an extremity, it is very simple to just use a tourniquet. You don't need to think about what bandage type works better or whatever the fuck. You just apply a bandage and a tourniquet, and that will just immediately stop all bleeding. At this time, it was only a small velocity wound. You would need 1 bandage, and it would probably be fine. But you don't want to think about this. Literal seconds are what matters.
Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited for you to go into the various bandages for various types of wounds. I've never really learned that very well in all my time of playing Arma.
Yeah. So there is a bunch of information on what bandages is exactly efficient. I will just say I will make some simplifications here. If you are a medic and you're available to stitch someone, it is pretty efficient to use elastic bandages. The reason for that is that most configurations of Cat Medical or Ace Medical make it so that elastic bandages can just cover more injuries.
Okay.
Now they do open up quickly.
But for my own way of learning, if you do know it, could you explain to me the science of why these various bandages do the job better than others? Because that would really stick in my memory. It's because like my memory works, and I'm terrible at rote memorization. Just like hearing a thing to memorize and being like, okay, I'll remember that. I'm terrible at that. But if I understand the physics, the science, the complex, like not that maybe it doesn't have to be complex, but just like the reasoning, the why of this bandage being the choice. The why is what would really stick in my mind, if it's possible.
So, yeah, it's possible. So, I think my kit does not include QuickLot for the medical. So I'm just gonna quickly make a box here and add some QuickLot to it.
Okay, thank you.
Quick Claw is just gauze that you stick in a wound.
While you do that, I'm gonna get more water, but this time I'll be quicker because last time I made coffee and I went to the bathroom. So I'll be right back. Much quicker.
Sure.
How I like to simplify it is elastic is a natural massive bandage that you can wrap around. So I see packing as a fucking plaster.
Yeah. All right, everyone that's around here, just take some QuickLot out of this box so you can see it in your menu.
Quick Claw is like a little like not toothpick, little what are they called? You know those cotton ball like sticks? What the fuck they call them?
Yeah.
I think
I
they're
don't know
just
what you
like
call
those.
them, but yeah,
I think it's just like
um,
jamming a bunch of those. They're fucking useless, but work.
Yeah, so QuickLot, as far as I know, is just like some. So the QuickLot that we have, I think, is like some gauze that has I think either lined with some kind of chemical or whatever the fuck. Not 100% sure.
It's just like cotton, I'm pretty sure. It's just like cotton that you shove in.
Yeah, I don't quite understand what it is. There is another thing that I think is pretty cool.
I like the the syringe paste where you like
Yeah.
stick it in a wound and you fucking
Yeah.
syringe it in. That's
Release the
that's good
tampons.
technology. They should add that to cat. That should be quick clot.
There's actually been numerous requests for that on the Discord, believe it or not.
Like I feel like if it's done badly, like there's a chance they should add a chance to it where it could just stop. Like I don't know. I don't know what it would actually stop, but like circulation, maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
Okay, I cleared this trauma. That's good.
Okay, I'm back.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So to the different types of bandages. So I will say they all have their own niche at what they're best at. And the two factors that we mostly consider is efficiency in covering wounds and how fast they open back up.
Okay.
So the one that opens up the fastest is the elastic bandage. However, it is very efficient at covering multiple wounds, meaning that if you have multiple injuries, you will be able to do what's called rollover. And the rollover basically makes it so you can cover multiple injuries.
Okay.
So in general, to stop the bleeding, elastic will usually be the fastest. Now,
If
the
I-
important thing
if
is...
If I may, like, what is elastic bandage exactly? Is it like a rubbery-looking bandage that just covers the skin and causes like a seal, the same way a suction cup would?
Dude, I don't know. You have to look into that.
Okay, I'll look into
yourself.
that on my own. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Okay,
worries.
So
It's a
I'll just tell you
compressed
what
bandage.
Yeah. So the idea is that it opens up quickly. It's like quickly soaked or whatever, and so it will not keep the wound sealed forever or bandaged. That's what we call
Okay.
it. Now the quick clot is basically the opposite of it. Quick clot is very inefficient. Sometimes you'll need to use 2 for 1 injury, while for elastics you might even cover 2 injuries with 1. You know, it's like the opposite basically.
Okay.
And then, but quick clot has an actual chance of never opening up, and we're
Oh.
basically holding infinitely.
So, question.
And so,
Question. Could you possibly, because if my understanding is correct, like quick clot has a certain chemical in it that somehow or another when it meets
funny, you
blood.
were not there.
When-
We were just talking about it.
Oh.
We don't actually think that quick clot is that. I think quick clot is just like some kind of...
It does have a
bandage.
time, but it's 1,800 seconds for it to reopen.
It basically,
up.
it's for all considerations, it basically doesn't open up. So if this is why, as a medic, I usually don't carry it, just because we have the surgical kit available. And
Well,
that
yeah,
one will allow to
because
seal
the quick clot has a compound in it that when it interacts with blood, it causes the blood to clot much faster, right? So,
I don't know
question.
about that.
The
That's
question.
what I assumed, but I don't think it is.
Okay, so I will stick with that's just our assumption. But the question is, can you first apply quick clot and then apply another bandage to finish up the bleeding?
So that's not part of the system. So
Okay.
the different types of bandages, it's not simulated as in like you put one on and then another one on. That's not simulated.
Okay.
It's either going to treat a wound or another. Like you never treat the same wound twice. That's not part of the simulation.
Okay.
And then we have the other. There's actually 2 more bandages, but one is just I will never talk about it. It's the basic bandage, and it's basically ignored by everyone.
Okay.
That's just it. The other one that is considerably useful is the packing bandage. Now the packing bandage is kind of the middle ground. So personally, I just use packing a lot of the time for almost everything.
Okay.
And in general, if you use packing, you usually can't go wrong. Like quick clot is either
Okay.
too slow, if you sometimes, or elastics might open up too fast, but packing is usually
A good balance.
you don't think about it. It's a good balance. Now, if you want to min-max your shit, then you're probably gonna do elastics and stitch. But as you will find out, that it's not as easy as to recommend that as an ace medical, because an ace medical you really don't have anything to do except for putting in fluids. But in ace medical, there's a lot more workload we need to think about. So packing bandage, just use them.
Okay.
All right. So that's the bandage types. And so the reason why I say use a tourniquet is you don't need to think about anything. So either use a packing bandage if it's just like one small injury, and if you're confident you're gonna close it on the first try, and otherwise for everything else just use a tourniquet.
Okay.
Okay. The other thing that we will have as tools are available, we're going to look at later. Those are some medications. Just for now, we're just gonna stick with the basics. This is what you would tell someone else if you're a medic and you instruct them to care for themselves under fire. Is you will instruct them to use a bandage, use a tourniquet, and to get in a cover. That is basically everything you do in care under fire. You don't not look at the airways. You do not look at anything else. It's just stop the bleeding. That's it.
Okay.
Until the fight is over. Or you're in a considerably safe zone where you can do what we're going to go to now, which is the tactical field care.
Okay.
Alright.
Gotcha.
So the tactical field care is everything beyond that. So we're going to assume that either you stop most of the bleeding or all of the bleeding. And so we are going to jump straight to the next part, which is we're going to look at the algorithm again, March. So the next letter is A. Anyone have an idea what A could stand for?
No clue.
I'm just going to say that's a no. So A stands for airway.
Airway. Okay.
Alright. So first of all, we're going to look at the menu of it.
And then
So
real
everyone
quick, just to rehash,
do the medical menu.
M stands for massive hemorrhage, right?
Massive hemorrhage, yep.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
the reason why it's called massive hemorrhage is if someone has a cut, there might be more severe things you need to think about.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. You sure it's massive hemorrhage or major hemorrhage? Because major would be like more denoting
I
priority.
think it's massive hemorrhage.
Okay,
I don't know, but it
gotcha.
is massive hemorrhage.
Cool, I copy that.
Okay, so the next part that we're going to look at is the airways. Now, this person is pretty, like, no problem. I don't think I need to teach anyone how to breathe. But as soon as you go unconscious, there are several things you need to think about. So I'm just going to knock this guy unconscious, and we're going to look at what happens. Boom. All right, this guy is now unconscious. Everyone, go ahead and open the medical
Wrong
menu on the
button.
guy. So, first of all, let's look at the menu where you can actually do the airway management. For that, you're going to navigate on the left side. There's the examine and treatment section, and there is basically a picture of a lung, like a person. You see their lungs. That's the airway management.
That's grayed out for me.
Let me check. You probably did not go in as a medic, did you?
I did.
Okay. Grayed out. You're looking at the right person.
Just to help the training out, I'll stream, okay, in Discord.
Sure thing.
Just so you know, we can always see what's on my screen. Oops, Eden. Stream. Hold on, I gotta put a second jacket on. There's been like storms in the Philippines nonstop, and it's cold as fuck here. Oh.
All right. Is it grayed out for anyone else except like in
Oh, wait,
do you see
what?
the-
Yeah, it's
yeah, just
great.
check it. It's grayed out.
Yeah.
What's grayed out?
The airway section is grayed out for them.
Airway suction? Are they medics?
No, just the whole. They're even doctors. Polar. I look at the tray.
I
it's
can do it, and I
doctor,
don't have anything.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Shakespeare trait. Doctor. AIS.
Have you clicked on airway management tab?
I mean, they're not. Otherwise, it would be yellow. Oh, I know why. Never mind. No, it's very simple. I just assumed they would click the head, but he's on the leg. That's why there's no airway management on the leg. It's It's very simple.
Ah, I
Okay.
just heard that.
So,
I'm back. Yeah. Okay, so clicked on the
yeah.
chest.
No, no, no.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
so
that
it's,
makes sense.
It's already muscle memory for me, so like I don't
Yeah,
even
same.
notice that I'm doing it. Yeah, so what you need to do is like some options become available only if you click on the right section. That's
Okay.
also important to know.
All right.
So if you click the head, you will have a bunch of options here. So since this guy's unconscious, what we're going to do first is we're going to check if the person is breathing.
What is that?
You're still on you're on the torso.
Yeah, I'm on the
You need to click
torso.
on the head.
Oh, head.
Yeah, you need to
Okay.
click on the head. Yep. So the airway is everything that's basically down to to the beginning of your esophagus.
Okay.
That's basically what we think about when we say airway. It's like the neck, maybe the neck. Yeah. Okay. But like we're not looking for the chest right now.
Okay.
That's gonna be later on.
All right.
Okay. So this is the head, and now what we can do is we can check for breathing. So just do that.
Check for breathing. Check breathing.
Yeah, there it is. Check breathing. Okay, so you'll check the breathing and it's currently normal. That's what we expect. The person just fell unconscious, so they're probably still breathing.
I don't see that
Okay.
here.
But-
Where do I see the normal?
There's a tab called Quick View, lower right, and it's basically a log that says.
Oh, here we go.
10,
Okay,
19,
gotcha.
Total
Normal.
whisper, check breathing, normal. So
Normal,
all of
okay.
the results will come up there. The
Okay.
activity log to the lower left is everything that you apply to it, and the Quick View is whatever results come out.
Okay.
The interface has a couple of naming issues, and I will go into all of them. Quick View is one of them. I don't know why it's called Quick View. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah. Okay. So I actually have a nice little tool here from Cam, which is where I can change the airway state. So I'm going to simulate a couple of things that could happen. Here we go. All right. Check the breathing again.
None. Okay.
Exactly. So if we check the breathing and there's no breathing, there could be multiple issues why. For example, the person could have no circulation, meaning their heart is stopped, or for some reason cannot beat. There could be other reasons, most of which are probably not modeled by Cat, but in what we're looking at now is issues with the airway. And so if we see that the person is not breathing, that will basically say this is our first priority now. We need to make sure they are able to breathe.
May I go
And
question?
so to progress,
Question. I may be a little ape shit with my questions here, but like, let me. There's no worries if you can't answer it, but I will try anyway. Is that cool?
Sure.
Okay, so you're right. There's no breathing. That could be. Mentioned that it could be because the heart stopped, and there's no circulation. But as I understand, the breathing continues even if that's the case to the point where the lungs fill with fluid, right?
So in general, I will look through this through the lens of Cat Medical. So
Absolutely,
there's a lot of things that
absolutely.
are not going to be like correct to life. So it is my understanding that usually you might even still be breathing for like. There's probably states where you would have issues with, let's say, circulation. You're still going to be breathing, but in Cat Medical, I'll preface this. In
Yeah.
Cat Medical, if you do not have a heart rate, you are not breathing.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
Okay.
so this is
100%.
just you're just basically catching everything. If the person's not breathing, something's wrong. That's all we know for now.
You can have
Okay.
a heart rate and not be breathing. That's
Yeah,
when you got problems.
You could have one, yep. But so like if someone is not breathing, then we know something's wrong. If someone is breathing, we have a pretty good way of saying they're probably metastable right now, except
Okay.
for the bleeding, of course. But yeah, so at least they're breathing, which is always important. All right, so now that we know they're not breathing, we're going to check the airway and figure out what's wrong. So check the airway.
Check airway.
Now, this might actually not be doable with your layout. Yeah, so it's hard for you to read it. It's because it's behind your menu. So you will need to quickly look at the quick
Yeah.
view. There's like an announcement that comes. You don't see it because your UI scale, but it will say you check the airways and it's obstruction and it's occluded.
Occluded. What does that mean?
There's So obstruction
Clogged.
is in general if you let's say like you have let's say you're snoring, for example. That's because your tongue is like rolling back or constricting the airway for some other reasons.
Okay, so
Obstruction is usually what we talk about when there's your own body is the reason for
okay.
this.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. And then occluded.
Now, yeah. So if we say occluded, we mean in this case that there's any other reasons. There's like a foreign body in it, meaning that in this case it's vomit. You'll actually
Vomit
if
or
I don't
blood,
do it in
right?
Zeus. Yeah, in this case it's whatever. It's any type of fluid probably is in this case is in here. And what we're going to deal with in this case, there's two ways of dealing with an occlusion in Cat Medical, and that's either using head turning, which everyone can do, and
Okay.
airway suction, which you can only do if you have the equipment.
Okay.
So as long as you're clicked on the head, you can either do begin head turning or airway suction.
What should I do?
So just begin, just do suction for now.
Okay. Now, should I try head turning in a real
Just
scenario?
do suction.
Not now, but like in a real scenario.
Oh,
Try
right
head
now?
turning first.
So let's say you have someone that helps you that does not have the loadout, then you just tell them to do head turning.
head turning on
and to
top of
continue-
airway suction, right?
No, just one of either the two.
Okay.
You know
so
what?
but-
Just do head turning. So you see
okay.
what it looks
Okay.
like.
Head turning first.
Yeah.
Is that the
So head
is that
turning
the
is
SOP?
a continuous action. Yeah. So
It's
the
a
head turning is a
continuous-
continuous action. And so what happens is, as long as you don't stop it, it will continue. And at some point, just keep doing it. Don't cancel.
Did I cancel? I canceled.
Yeah,
I didn't
you
mean
canceled
to.
it. Yeah.
Okay. So back to the
Yeah,
medical
just
menu.
So yeah.
Head
H,
turning.
and then
Begin head turning.
turning. Yeah.
So what exactly is head turning?
Exactly. So head turning is basically an action where you try to like move the head in a way where the stuff, whatever is in your airway, is gonna go out. Nice.
Oh,
It just
okay.
said occlusion removed. So we'll keep saying occlusion removed. And what we're gonna do now is we are going to try to secure the airway. So
Okay.
there's multiple ways of doing this. The most reliable method is to either use a King LT, which is basically like a tube you shove down to so that there is basically an airway that's always available.
Okay.
There's two types of tubes. There's the Gödel tube, which we don't have in this loadout right now. That one will only will eliminate the option that it will obstruct, but it can still occlude.
How do you spell that tube?
Guedel. Gödel.
Gouda. And what does Gouda mean?
Gödel. That I don't know. It's
Okay.
probably named after some random person.
Okay.
Right, so
Gouda.
just
Pretty sure
do
it's
the
something
King
to
LT
do with
now.
a
So what is special about the Gouda tube?
So
It's
the
a
Gödel
breathing
tube is
tube.
basically is super fucking easy to apply. Basically, any idiot can apply it. Well, with a little bit of like training, probably, hopefully. But it's pretty easy to apply, and it will make sure that your tongue doesn't roll back or anything.
Okay. So it's,
You could still throw up, and then you wouldn't be able to breathe through it. That's why we use the King LT. The King LT
okay.
actually goes way further, and it makes it so that like it will actually close off the esophagus, from what I know.
So it
just
goes straight
apply
from
King
the
LT.
mouth to the lungs, and even if you vomit more, there's still a
No,
tube.
not to the lungs, not to the lungs, just to the windpipe, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, just do it
Just the
now, because
windpipe.
the occlusion time is usually pretty low.
Okay.
So,
King LT.
Well, maybe we're gonna see what happens now.
King LT
right.
applied.
It is applied. Okay.
Okay.
Now it's important to know that the King LT cannot be applied if someone is already occluded. So the King LT will prevent occlusion, but it will not like solve the occlusion issue.
Okay.
That's why we need to do like suction or head turning.
Okay.
Suction will always work in 8 seconds. Head turning can be a little bit faster, or it can be longer. It's chance based.
Okay. So what is
Okay.
suction? Do you need a certain tool for that?
Yeah, it's the AccuVac. That's what it's called.
AccuVac. Okay.
AccuVac. Yeah. Okay. So for now, we are basically 100% sure that if the person is not breathing, it's because of any other reason. So if we check the breathing again, we can do this now, for example, we will know the airway is going to be fine.
Okay.
So patient is breathing normally.
Breathing normally.
Pretty
okay.
good. Okay. Now, when it comes to airways, there's a couple of things we can also do quickly. Instead of checking for breathing, for example, what we can do is we can attach a pulse oximeter. So go ahead and click onto the right or left arm. I don't care which one.
Oh, in the medical menu, I could do
In
this
the
all.
menu. Yeah,
Okay.
in the menu. We're just going to do everything in the menu, honestly. It's
Okay.
usually a lot faster. So then you'll go to the examine patient, which is like the magnifying glass looking tab. Exactly. And then you're going to attach the pulse oximeter. The pulse oximeter, what it can do is it can register if you have a pulse, and if you have one, what is the beats per minute. And it will also show you the oxygen saturation rate, basically.
Question.
or short SpO2.
Question. This is a list that is in chronological order of things happening. Now, this pulse oximeter will update, as I understand you told me at another time.
Yeah.
It'll update every
Yeah.
few seconds.
You can see it now.
Yeah,
It actually is
yeah.
updating right now.
Yeah,
You
it
can
went
see
from
the SpO2
80.
is rising.
Yeah, it went from 88 to 80, from 85 to 88.
Yeah.
But if we do more actions after this, will this thing eventually be no longer visible, or will I be able to scroll to see it?
Here, I'll show you. So I'm gonna check pulse, and then check pulse will go below. Will go up,
Oh, it
And
stays
then
at the
like the pulse
bottom.
oximeter will always go to the lowest because it's always refreshing,
Okay, cool
right?
beans.
So
Cool
like
beans.
it has been there for a little bit, but then boom, it's gone down. Now there's this one of these. This is actually one of the things I wanted to show you. So look how it says PR 80.
Pulse
PR
rate.
standing specifically for pulse rate. So do you have an idea what the difference could be between pulse rate and heart rate?
Pulse rate.
Yeah, pulse rate versus heart rate.
No idea what the difference would be.
Okay, so the pulse rate is a rate of the actual like. So I explain it differently. The pulse is actually something you can feel. Especially if you feel someone pulse, you can actually have the sensation. You can feel it in like the blood vessel that the heart is pumping.
Yeah, and in
This
the
is what we
blood
refer to as a pulse.
in the blood vessel, there's the
But the heart
systolic
rate.
there's the systolic pressure and the something else pressure of the veins, right? That can be measured in a pulse.
Systolic.
Diastolic or something. Systolic and diastolic.
No, that's the RR, or like the blood pressure. But the pulse rate is, it's related. But basically, just if you can feel it, it's a pulse.
Okay.
And a heart rate is something different. So a heart rate,
Okay.
especially in cat medical, is considered to be the electrical activity of the heart.
Oh, okay.
So there's like I don't know the English term here. In German, it's, if I were to translate it, it would be a sinus node. I don't know what the English term for it is, to be honest. But it's basically a little part that dictates the electrical activity of the heart.
Okay.
And so basically what we're measuring is the electrical activity of the heart if we use the electrodes, for example.
Okay.
And so when we check pulse, unfortunately, because this was a change later on, it will still say heart rate, which is not true. What we're actually checking is the pulse rate. So that's one of these things where it will actually be false. Like the UI is not
Okay.
telling you correctly what it's looking at.
Good to know.
You see this. So instructor checked heart rate, it's 80, but it's actually the pulse rate. And the difference is, and this is important, is we do know what the heart rate is, or we can find it out by using another tool. But we'll look at that a little bit later.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So right now we've been looking at the airway, and so if we have a clear airway and someone's breathing, we will see that the SpO2 is rising. If we see that the SpO2 is low and we have no other indication for any damage to the chest or whatever, then we can be pretty sure that this is something to do with the airway. So
And then
the
low
pulse
is
oximeter is just
low-
another tool.
Low SpO2 is
Mhm.
considered anything at or below 95, correct?
Yeah, so I think Cat Medical in their guide, they say it's basically 95. However, from like everything that's not 100 is basically not normal in Cat Medical. Everything that's
Okay.
below 100 is not normal.
Okay.
But it's like if you have 95 SpO2, it is not an issue.
Okay.
Yeah. In the end, what you actually need to look at is if it's rising or falling. Because like if it's at 97, it stays there. Well, whatever.
Okay.
Right, so this is all the tools. The other thing, what we can do now is to make things faster, for example, is we use a back valve mask. Yeah, we're doing medical right now. Is that TCAS that joined?
With Rao.
Oh, he sounds like TCAS. Not gonna. Oh wait, is it
Is it in
Is it-
game?
Remo?
Okay. Mind if I go for a water break?
No, go for it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Also get some water.
Oh, is he talking in game? Yeah, it's Rima.
Yeah, he was talking in Tifa.
Da-dum-dum-dum.
Howdy.
Let me give him this really quick.
Hey,
I don't.
we're doing
want-
just basically just an instruction. We're also talking in
Oh.
Discord mostly, so that's
Hmm.
I would mostly talking in Discord. This will probably take a little bit, but I don't know if Emo, are you actually like following this, or are you just hanging around?
I'm following, but I'm also looking for the code.
Okay. Right. So
See, because the way oh no, that's for the ADX. I see now. I'm in the wrong one.
oh yeah, so Beamer's
Eh.
also talking on Discord. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm also. I don't have TeamSpeak open. I can't be as
Yeah.
hearing the of radio.
All right, I'm back.
All right. Where were we? Fuck, did I AC him? No, he just spit out the. Okay.
I gaboed him. The memes. The one-time gabo is useful.
Could actually just slapped him. It's even funnier. Okay. So yeah, the airways. We talked about the airways. Is there anything else for the airways? No, I think we're pretty solid on it. Okay, but this will go to the next topic, which is going to be chest wounds, specifically sucking chest wounds. Now, this is something that is not often seen on the server. I actually have not encountered it except maybe once, which is called a pneumothorax. I'm just going to give a pneumothorax here, the most basic one. The reason you know someone has a pneumothorax is you look at the chest and it says deep penetrating chest wound. Now, I'm a little bit unsure of why it doesn't say it here. I think it used to say that, but
But it only
maybe
gives you
for
the
some
visual
reason it
cue.
doesn't occur. Yeah, but it usually says it in text as well, as I recall correctly.
Ah.
I don't know, but you can see like the little like icon there, right?
Mm-hmm.
The little, not icon, sorry, the
Bullet
wound
wound,
on the chest. Yeah, exactly. All right, so this is another case of this is not a case of airway management. We're now at point 3, which is respiration. Respiration is everything that, like in Cat Medical, we talk about respiration when we talk about anything that happens to the lung.
Gotcha.
So right
Okay.
now, let's check this guy's breathing. Let's go through the whole airway thing. Let's do a little bit of practice as well. So I'm just going to leave you to your own devices and try to figure out if you can make sure the airways are clear and not occluded.
Okay. I can't check breathing. Oh, here we go. Okay. Check breathing. Breathing, none. Okay,
Yep.
so airway suction. Oh. How do I check if there's aspiration?
Airway. Check airway.
Check airway.
It's above
okay.
the check breathing.
Airway, not obstructed but occluded. So that is indeed, it's okay. Airway suction.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where your suction just get rid of both for the memes?
No.
All right, not occluded, not obstructed but
Yeah, this
still
one is not the
occluded.
actual thing last time.
So I need to use head turning now, right? Because the suction
Negative.
didn't work. All right.
The section did work. The thing is only that you're looking at the past, basically. That's what you tried.
Oh, I gotta check
That's
again.
what you saw at 12:39.
Okay, gotcha.
Kind of. You
Not
can do
occluded.
that. It
Okay,
doesn't
now
take as
King
long.
LT.
Yeah.
King LT.
So the reason why a lot of people check is because the King LT takes some time to put in. If something goes wrong in the meantime,
Okay.
you know.
I should check
But
again.
honestly, I would just put it in.
But I thought you said you
can
can't
do,
put it in
but
if it's got aspiration and vomit in it. In
If
the
you've
airway.
got, yeah, exactly. If you've got an occlusion, you kind of put it in. However, if you've done suction, suction is always successful. There's no failure rate for that.
Oh, okay. So suction if it's occluded, and then immediately put the King
Yeah.
LT in.
And the King LT
and
will
then-
also remove obstruction. So like once you put in the King
Really?
LT, part of doing it is removing the obstruction. If I'm
Really?
Yes.
Obstruction, obstruction, yes, but not occlusion.
Yeah.
Obstruction, yes, but not
Exactly.
occlusion. Okay, but
Yep.
it was occluded.
All right.
So yeah, okay.
Yep. So,
So check
airways.
breathing.
Are we done with the airways, or do we
wanna,
need to do anything
I
with
want
the
to
airways?
check one more time if it's working.
Sure thing.
All right. Check breathing. Shallow. Okay. What can I learn from that?
All right. So one thing that you can learn from this is that shallow breathing does not sound like normal breathing. You can also see that there's a chest wound, as we see through the wound on the chest.
Yeah.
And we also see, since we've put on the oximeter, that the SpO2 is dropping momentarily.
Okay.
91, and it was just 92, and a couple minutes ago it was 95. So, or a couple of seconds ago. So first things first that we do. First things first that we do is we prevent anything from the atmosphere to enter the lung. So what we're going to do is chest seal, exactly. Well, it might not even enter the lung, but it might enter like the space between it. So yeah, chest seal, just put it on. Boom, super easy. If you see that thing, just slap on the chest seal.
Okay, wow, graphics, I love it.
All right, let's look at what happens. Let's look at the SpO2, and we're going to see what happens.
Nothing. Or
Nope,
it just
we have to wait a
could be
couple
really
seconds.
slow. Okay, it's increasing.
92.
Alrighty.
It's going up.
Alright.
All right, let's do something else in the meantime to look at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a back valve mask, and you're going to check on how the SpO2 is doing.
What is a back valve
Look at the
mask?
rate it's increasing.
Oxygen? Is that
So
an
from
oxygen
what is
mask?
explained, yeah, basically I'm giving this guy oxygen. So what I'm doing right now is I'm giving this person oxygen. It's a little weird because I think like the back valve mask means you're breathing for the person, but they can actually breathe themselves. I don't know how that works, but in the mod, what happens is if you give someone oxygen through the back valve mask, and I'm not sure about this part, if it increases it instantly or if you need to wait 15 seconds.
What is?
But I know that it does at some point increase the oxygenation speed, basically the recovery from low SpO2.
I kind of wish you had
this is
me
one
do
thing.
that just so I learn how to do it.
Yeah, it's just so you don't see it if you do it yourself. You don't have the menu.
Why not?
That's why I did it. You will do it later. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
We'll have enough
Cool.
opportunities for this. All right, because this is only one type of injury. So this is the regular pneumothorax. We have some kind of chest wound that makes it so the atmosphere enters the pleural space, like between the lung and the chest, So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to seal that hole, and then we just hope that it works again. And this time it did. But there are other ways this could go wrong. It could even deteriorate. So now this is again very configuration dependent, but it could deteriorate. And what we're going to say now, it deteriorated to something called a tension pneumothorax. Okay, so we start the same way. We clear the airway, so that's already done. But as you can see, there is now a new bullet hole in the chest.
Okay.
And so what we're gonna do first when we see that, what is it?
It is
first things first. When we see
breathing.
that, nope. We've already done the airway here.
Chest seal.
Chest seal. Yep. Exactly. So we're gonna apply this chest seal, and then we're gonna look at the SpO2 and see if it still recovers.
Okay. So it's currently at 98. Let's see.
What you can also do is pretty interesting, which is osculate the lung sound. Now we already saw it's decreasing, but we're just going to do osculate lung sounds.
What does
this
osculate,
might be loud depending on. It basically means listen to.
Okay.
It's like listen to the lungs. Just fancy words.
Oh, that sounds.
Yeah, I don't have your stream.
That does not.
I don't have your stream. Yeah. Okay, so everyone that does not listen to the stream right now, just osculate the lungs yourself real quick, or just enable the sound from Bullet Stream.
Ooh, that sounded like a lot of phlegm in the fucking airway. Lot of shit going on.
So in general, if you listen to someone's lung sounds and they're normal, it's gonna be just a steady, whatever. Like it's just like a steady breathing in, breathing out.
Yeah.
Now, as soon as you hear uneven breaths, like like that kind of thing, then that means that there's something wrong with the breathing. And in this case, there is something wrong with the breathing.
Well, let me listen to it again, because I didn't hear the kind of shit,
Yeah,
I
try
heard,
it out.
It just sounded like a fucked up lung. Oh.
It does
Oh.
it around like 10 seconds, and then at the very end, you'll hear the.
Okay, so it goes normal. It goes.
You're
Okay.
right. For me, yeah. Like I think it's supposed to interrupt the normal sound, but I've heard multiple times that it is a little bit unreliable.
So
but
you mean to say that the kind of shit was like normal, and then the shit that was like is the
It
weird
goes
part.
from like it goes from normal breathing to
Yeah.
like hiccup breathing,
Oh,
normal
okay.
breathing, and then hiccup breathing.
Okay. Okay.
yeah, okay. So that's one way to know. And osculating the lung sounds is important whenever the person is conscious, because we can't do a couple of things that we would do regularly here.
Okay.
You'll see that in a bit.
Okay.
Okay, so right now our patient has clear airways. We know that the person has a pulse, because I know, and I'm gonna just check it here for you. Now again, it says heart rate, but it is actually the pulse rate. We know its existence. So everything should be fine, but it's not. The reason for that is that there's still air left in the lung, and it makes it so we can't properly inflate it. That's at least my understanding
You mean
of it.
air left in the
So the way
torso?
that we do this,
You mean air left in the torso?
sorry, did I say lung? Yeah, in the
Yeah.
space between like the lung and the lining.
Okay. Okay. So we have to.
So there's still something blocking. Yeah. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take that air out.
But you know what? I
And
think I'm a layman here, but I believe what that sounded like was there was fluid in the lungs.
There is something for that. We're gonna see. You're gonna listen to what that sounds like. It
Okay,
sounds vastly
okay.
different.
Okay, I gotcha.
Okay. So the NC. So there's two
Needle.
types of items in Cat Medical that will do. Yeah. Before you click that, there's two types of items. One is the NCD kit. Now I don't know why it isn't NDC kit. I know it's like it's correct. It's NCD kit, but like for me it sounds like NDC would be make more sense when you say needle decompression. But I'm not a professional, so I don't know. So
what is
NCD
the-
kit is for needle decompression.
What is this? Oh.
Oh,
That's
by the
cool.
way,
Oh.
this beeping is the oxygen, the blood oxygen alarm.
What does the C
so
stand
the
for?
at-
Compression?
Fuck, I don't have no idea.
Okay.
Just-
all right. Gotcha.
so the
gotcha.
NCD kit. So the NCD kit. Think about it like small diameter needle. It basically only takes the air out. We have another kit as the AAT kit. Now it has different uses. You can also use it for regular needle decompression, but you can also drain fluid with it.
Wait,
so keep
sorry,
in
I
mind
lost you.
that,
I lost you. Hold on. With which
Yeah,
one
I'll
were
say
we
it
talking
again.
about?
So the NCD kit can do a needle decompression, which is just taking the air out. If there's fluid, we will have to use a different item.
Okay.
The different item, the AAT kit, also in the inventory, can do both. That's why there is two options for needle decompression, and one just has parenthesis NCD kit. So you know exactly what item you're using. That's the whole
Okay.
reason why there's two options.
Okay.
Right. So the NCD kit is what we want to use now.
Okay. I'll do it.
And so yeah, do a needle decompression. Yep, with the NCD kit.
And
Have
then-
you
hold on,
seen
real
someone do that in real life?
I've seen videos of it. I've never
You
seen someone
know,
actually do it.
someone stabs in the fucking chest with a needle.
I think it's quite a small. Yeah, just click it. You have to click it. Paula.
Real quick. So the needle decompression is
Stick
the
it in.
other tool. Okay. I'll stick it in.
All right, just do it because for this guy.
Okay.
Guys. There's a little bit of urgency to this, okay? This guy's
A little
like
bit,
if you hear
yeah.
the beeping, you know. Okay. All right. So what we're now going to look at is the SpO2. We'll look at how it goes. It's 78.
Okay.
It should still go up. Allows him to breathe.
There could be other reasons why it's not going up, but we're going to just check it. 78, 77. Right. So something else must be wrong, right?
Okay.
So now let's just listen to the lungs again. Just do it and listen to the lungs again.
One sec, bring it back.
I want to say fluid, man.
Right. Does it still sound weird?
Sounds like it did earlier. It's just there's no hiccups. It sounds like good breathing. But I mean, it does
Alright,
sound.
so I'll just tell you what the mystery was, and it's not actually anything relevant. So what I thought is it actually deteriorated more, but it did not. The problem was just actually that the state machine just doesn't play well with the Zeus module sometimes, and what happened is it thought it was occluded and obstructed, even though there was a King LT in it. So this is non-normal behavior. Sometimes you'll encounter these bugs.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a perfect introduction. Sometimes there are bugs. Okay, so the so right now we have cleared the what's called tension pneumothorax. There's, I guess, I don't know why it's called it, but my guess is because there was still tension because there was like still atmosphere inside the pleural space.
Okay.
Okay, so right now oxygenation is going up, and you can now test the thing with the BVM. So go to the head,
BVM.
and then say use BVM, use BVM back valve mask,
Back. Okay.
and
Oxygen.
then with
okay.
oxygen. Cancel. You got a question?
I can see the same thing that he sees in the menu.
Can you, if you click on the head, does it change?
It's just check airway and check breathing. I can't see anything else.
1 second.
On the chest as well. Like,
Try streaming.
I can see
Show 'em.
the
do it
needle or
now.
something.
You can do it now.
Yeah. Oh, no.
The problem was that you were not joined in as a medic slot. I needed to add that to you. Do me a favor, everyone, just reconnect after this so we don't accidentally have any traits that we shouldn't have.
Okay.
We need to be careful. This is like we're basically doing open heart surgery. I don't want to fuck anything up. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So BVM with
So
oxygen.
yeah. So use BVM with oxygen tank. Yep.
Okay.
So you can carry around a 150 or 300 liter oxygen tank little thing, and then you can use a back valve mask, and then basically you give them a higher concentration of oxygen.
Okay, so the BVM
That's
forces
the
air
idea
into them.
behind
As I understand, as I'm guessing
Yeah.
from back valve, it's
So,
like using
yeah.
pressure to force air into their airway, and then
Yeah,
you
it's
could
like
also
you know
do
this
it.
little like this big like tube thingy, like this little like bag that have you seen a medical?
Oh, that thing! And then you can combine
Yeah,
oxygen
that
with it.
thing.
Okay, absolutely, I got that. Yeah, totally.
Yep.
BVM, back valve. What is it? Back valve.
back valve mask.
A back valve mask. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a mask with a bag that has a valve on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this
I'll,
one just makes it faster to recover from low SpO2.
Okay.
Okay, all right, you can cancel it now with a 100.
Okay.
Boom. And so this is basically we just recovered. The BVM actually has other use cases. For example, if you need to do extended treatment, you can use the back valve mask to keep the oxygenation up in case that you have no other way. Let's say
Okay.
that someone has no heart rate, and then you can have someone else use a pocket BVM, which is like a smaller version without oxygen.
Okay.
And they can connect it to the King LT and blah blah blah. So this will
like-
basically work. Yep. Okay, now we're gonna go for the last one of the airway injury, the thoracic injuries, which is the hemopneumothorax, which is the one with the fluid buildup.
What's the first one? What's
Alright.
the other thorax something?
So we have pneumothorax,
Pneumothorax.
then we have tension pneumothorax, and then we have
Tension
hemopneumothorax.
Hemo.
Hemopneumothorax.
We
Could you
love
briefly,
thorax.
could you
They're-
briefly explain
they're
each one of those?
abbreviated. Yeah, so the pneumothorax is just like when you have the sucking chest wound, and if you put a chest on it, it's done and dusted.
Okay.
The tension pneumothorax is the one where you need to do a needle decompression because there's still air in it.
Okay.
And the hemopneumothorax is like heme, I think, referring to blood, and then meaning that there's like blood.
Blood.
Yeah. So let's see.
blood either in the lungs
reached the point,
themselves
Reclamant.
or blood in the torso, which is causing more pressure, which would need a you have to suck the blood out of the torso for the
Yep.
okay.
All right. So right now we don't know that this actually is the case. Let's figure out how we know that it is the case. So what we will do is we will, first of all, we see the wound. What do we do?
Chest seal.
Yep. All right. But you're still on the
Uh,
head.
Oh,
You still clicked on the head. That's why you can.
okay. Chest seal.
Boom. Chest seal. On it.
All right.
Right. Just because
No.
I'm gonna put a little bit of emphasis on this, I'm gonna.
Osculate lung sounds next, right?
Boom. All right.
Oh, chest seal again, huh?
Yeah, you may have actually accidentally. No, never mind. I know what it was. I accidentally reapplied it. My bad. I'm gonna
Okay.
do it real quick.
Okay.
Okay. What you do now is you don't know that it is a hemopneumothorax wound. So first we're gonna osculate the lung sounds.
Okay. Osculate lung sounds. Oh, okay. That's fluid. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So that
Oh, okay.
sounds
I see.
yeah.
So drain fluid.
So yeah, so this one basically means if you do not have access to this tool for whatever reason, and you're not going to do that in this environment, but for any other environment, you might not have access to this. If you do not, what we're going to first do is do a needle decompression. I'm just going to do
Okay.
that real quick.
No NTD
Um,
Oh,
no, no, no.
the
I'm
needle
just gonna do this with the
decompression.
NCD kit. Basically, what we need to need to think. We don't actually know what it is, so we do the needle decompression first.
Okay, because the NCD
and
kit,
now we look at it.
the NCD kit only does air, and this is fluid.
Yeah, cancel that. We don't need to do it again.
Oh,
So
what?
the NCD kit.
Yeah, I just need
Yeah,
it
I already did.
decompressed.
Anyways,
Okay, gotcha.
so we look at it and we see it's ineffective, right? And so that's why before, when there was like the bug, I was like, okay, then we need to think what else could cause it. And in this case, if a needle decompression is ineffective, we know that the person has circulation, so meaning they have a heart rate, and we know that the airway is clear, which we also assume if he has a King LTN.
Yeah.
Then the
And-
only conclusion is we need to drain fluid. So
Okay. So
another
drain
thing
fluid.
what we can do is we can also inspect the chest. Sometimes this is disabled on servers, but that's
Okay.
another option. I'm just going to quickly do it. And you'll see as the report it says, no
Skin-
chest, skin is rigid, looks bruised.
Okay. Skin is rigid.
Looks bruised is indication. When it says looks bruised, means it's a pneumothorax.
Okay.
And so yeah, you can go ahead and drain the fluid.
Drain fluid.
Boom. Yep. Alright, by the way, the lethal limit for oxygenation is 67. So
Okay.
we're
And
at,
we need
sorry,
to,
65. We're at 67.
Okay, I'm gonna do. What's the thing? What's the thing? The head thing. The BVM with oxygen.
Yep.
No. Yeah.
do that.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yep, you can do that. Right, so the person is at 69, which is really bad. Again, normal is everything between 95 and 100, and anything below 100 should already concern you a little bit.
Okay.
Now, another thing that you cannot see right now, Polar, because you're doing the thing, you can actually stop real quick so you can see the menu. So, usually, this chest wound that you saw before doesn't actually mean there's blood loss. However, if you have a pneumothorax, there is blood loss.
Internal
that
bleeding.
is internal.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, another indication is if you have everything stitched and everything looks fine, there should be no bleeding, and a person deteriorates from like one stage of blood loss to the other, then you also know there's
Okay.
something wrong here. This is probably a pneumothorax.
Okay.
It's just like a little thing. It doesn't happen often, because usually it will, like, someone will stay in one stage of blood loss for a long time.
Okay.
Mm.
But if you see it, if you spot it, you have, like, you know what's up. Okay. All right. So this is basically everything we need to know for the R part of March. So March. M, massive bleeding. A, airways. R, respiration. Okay. So the last part we're going to look at is the cardiac rhythms, and also what C stands for is circulation,
See?
meaning like the blood flow. C. Yep. It's the C in March.
March. Oh, I thought it was Marge, like MARGE.
Oh, like Marge Simpson? Oh, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Never mind. No, it's March as in
March.
marching.
Okay.
It's
Gotcha.
the military, goddammit.
I love now.
Yeah, so, yeah. So C. is
Okay,
gonna be the
hold
last
on,
part.
real quick, before we move into that next topic. Can I get a water break?
Sure.
Thank you.
You should invest in like a big water jug, by the way,
I
with
really
ice or
should, but I
whatever.
like it fresh and cold. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I felt like tension in pneumothorax would actually be a lot more like of a thing, but it's like if you don't have chest seal, tension. If you have chest seal, no tension.
No,
In
that's
the
just
code.
regular. Oh, okay, in the code. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, all it does is checks if you have a chest seal, and if you don't, it just turns on tension.
Okay. Yeah, I think what it does is that I think what you're looking is when it deteriorates. Just me like shooting from the hip here.
No, this
'cause
is
there
just the local for the treatment one.
The fuck? Okay. No, I don't know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
there's a deterioration one I haven't looked at yet, but
Yeah.
guess if you just leave shit for too long.
What the fuck is that? That's the roll. Never mind. I just didn't see the DUI. Hey, Mr. Ambo Man. Hey. I'm currently doing medical class if you want to join. even if we went through most of everything already, you're still gonna learn a lot if you join. We're doing most of it on Discord as well, so I'll still be talking. Whoa, you teleported from me. I'll be talking in game mostly, but Discord mostly, but I'm also talking game.
Okay, there we go.
All right, I'm back. Did the guy die?
Iteration.
No.
No. Okay.
Okay, so what we're gonna do now is I just cleared the casualties so there's no further weird things that might happen, and
Okay.
just recreated the steps that we were in. Okay,
Okay.
so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna look at the weird things that can happen to the heart, and we're also gonna
Okay.
look at how to use the automatic external defibrillator, or short AED.
So okay.
Okay, so right now nothing should be wrong. The person should still have a heart rate. And what we're gonna do now is you're gonna click on the chest, go to advanced treatments, which is like the ECG looking thing. Yeah. And then you're gonna place AED pads.
AED pads. So you know what that stands for?
A-frame. Yep. Automatic external defibrillator.
Automatic external defibrillator. The automatic part of it. What do you mean? What does it detect?
You'll see why. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Go ahead, connect it. So in Ace Medical, what you do is you just shock the person. There's no like connecting whatever.
Okay.
Shock
At least as far as
advised.
I remember.
Shock
Right.
advice.
So,
You said.
so right now, this is basically like any IED that you can like find in public, right? Like you've probably seen those in public buildings where it says
Not in the
defibrillator.
Philippines, but I've heard about them in the UK.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So what these things are is basically they will guide you through what you need to do. It will talk to you, and this one said push analyze. So there's literally a button on there that says analyze.
Where?
So you're gonna go to examine patient.
Huh? What?
The first tab.
The second tab, like
okay.
that
Analyze
one, yeah,
rhythm.
yeah.
Okay.
So for some reason I can't click on it. I don't know why that is. It should be able, but I don't know. Like in this case, it's your defibrillator, quote unquote. Yep. All
Well,
right.
I
So
didn't hear what it said.
it said no shock advised.
No shock advised, so the pulse is okay.
Yeah. The reason for that is we see actually the person has a pulse, so of course it's not going to tell you
Okay.
to shock someone who has a regular beating heart. But
I'll
we're
still
going to
do it.
change that. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into a shockable rhythm. Who knows the difference between a shockable and a not shockable rhythm?
A not shockable rhythm is something like a fibrillation, where the heart is just vibrating at a high rate, and if
So
It's an
But-
irregular.
So in this
heart
case, fibrillation actually is usually shockable, as far as I know. There might
okay.
be specific ones that are not, but in general, there's two things. Well, let's put it to this: in CAT medical, there's two types of electrical activity that are not shockable, which is no heart rate, or what I call fake heart rate. The actual term is pulseless electrical activity, meaning
Oh,
there's
I see.
electrical activity but no pulse.
Okay, gotcha.
The other two things are fibrillation and tachycardia. So if anyone says that, they might say some fancy thing like VTAC or VFib. Yeah, I don't know too much about it. I just know what it means. In
But
CAT medical.
tachycardia is an
So-
irregular heart rate, and then
Yeah.
fibrillation
So
is
yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead and push analyze. First of all,
Analyzing now. Stand clear.
look at the pulse rate as well.
0.
Yep. Boom.
Shock advised.
Shock
All right.
advised. Okay.
So once the defibrillator determines the shock is advisable,
Stand
you go
clear.
back to advanced
Push
treatments.
to shock.
Yep. And then administer shock. Boom. Yep.
Push
Perfect.
analyze.
Now we're going to check the pulse rate. We do not actually need we can like as long as we see there is an actual pulse coming up, we usually do not need to use the analyze function again,
Okay.
since we know there's a pulse. If we do not have that instant feedback, I would say it's okay to use push analyze. Also, if there's no pulse coming up, you will also click push analyze.
Do I ever need to check pulse while I have the thingy thing, the automatic? What is it called? Shit. What's it called?
No, just let it analyze. Just don't touch. Like if you do CPR, for example, it will actually prevent you. I'll show you. Just
Okay.
click analyze.
Analyze rhythm.
Analyzing now. Stand
Motion
clear.
detected. Stop motion.
Once I stop it,
Analyzing
analyze.
now.
Okay.
Stand clear. No shock advised.
cool
No
beans.
shock advice. Cool beans.
All right. So the shock is not advised.
Okay.
Let's look at something else. All right. We're gonna look at what's called asystole.
What
which
is this
means
machine
no
called? The
electrical
automatic
activity.
thing? The AED, is it?
AED,
Automatic.
automatic external defibrillator.
External defibrillator. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we see pulse rate is 0. Let's analyze.
Analyzing now. Stand clear. No shock advised.
No
Oh,
shock
shit.
advised.
No
What does
shock
that mean?
advised. Well, it's not going to shock. The AED is very simple. It will
Yeah, but I
analyze
mean,
it if it deems it necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what does it mean for us? First of all, we know this is nothing that a shock will fix. So the only other thing we can do is CPR and
Oh,
medication.
okay.
But let's just do the mechanical part first, which is
Okay.
do CPR.
How do you do
So
that?
you need to click on the chest and under advanced treatments,
Under advanced treatments, do CPR.
you will do
Okay.
CPR.
Okay. And it's
Alright.
advisable to
Now it
do
is usually
CPR
advisable to do a little bit of CPR.
with
And
epinephrine.
then the guide will, the guide will also say that you should use epinephrine. Now, while it's not necessarily, it's highly advisable to give epinephrine. I'm just going to give one
Okay.
whenever we start chest compression.
And then
You
how
shouldn't
many
spam them too hard.
How many
But
epinephrines
I'll
can
walk through we'll talk about it later. But for now,
Okay.
we're just going to give one epinephrine, do CPR, and then after some time, which is at most 30 seconds, we will analyze again. So stop the CPR now. All right. I'll also tell you we did 34 seconds of CPR. Great. We're gonna now push analyze.
Where
again.
does it tell me how much? Oh, okay, I see. 34 seconds of CPR. It's
Yep.
on. No pulse.
So examine patient is to the.
Oh,
You did not. Do you need to still check it? With the defibrillator.
okay.
You need to change the tab to examine.
Examine. Analyze.
Analyzing now. Stand clear. Shock advised.
Perfect. So now that we've done CPR, we actually gotten the person into a rhythm that's
Stand
shockable.
clear. Push to shock.
Boom.
Push
And we have a pulse.
Okay, so why was that not shockable, but then once we did CPR, it was shockable? What
Yep.
changed?
So basically, once we do CPR, we created an environment where the heart could start beating again, even though it was erratically. And then once we do the defibrillation, we revert this rhythm to a normal one.
Okay.
Okay, Bimo, do you want to go into your rant on epinephrine and doing CPR? Bimo, are you there? Okay, never mind. Bimo has a very interesting rant about people who say do not use epinephrine when doing CPR. That is not true. And also, I will just at this point refer to the guide here. So the CAT medical guide actually has a section for every medication and what the maximum dose is.
Yeah,
So let's look at the maximum dose.
I've seen with my
for-
own eyes when my mom was, they were doing CPR and epinephrine. Like they do both
Yeah.
in real life.
So here's another quick lesson I will just say. I know it's just like an example here, but you will often hear people talk about real life stuff, and you just throw it right out the window.
Okay, gotcha.
Cat Medical is like looks at real life, and then it says cool. I'll do it differently.
I see.
like-
Okay.
There's just so many things that if you try to use real life logic, you will fall short of what Cat Medical sometimes needs you to do,
Okay.
and vice versa.
Okay.
So try not. So this is not medical advice.
Good to
Disclaimer.
know. Good to know.
All right. Okay. But one thing that we have here is every medication has a maximum dose, and also a maximum dose deviation. I will quickly explain the two. The maximum dose means if you get more than the maximum dose within the time frame that is given, you will overdose. An overdose usually
Leads to
will show
fibrillation.
itself by you passing out.
Oh. Okay.
Some of the things, not quite sure, but some of the things might actually like. I don't think overdose itself makes you lose your circulation, but this is me guessing. I do not know. But you will pass out, and it is advisable not to give anyone more than the maximum dose.
Okay.
Now
What-
there is a maximum dose deviation, and it's only in the positive way, meaning that someone could receive if someone receives 6 doses, that's fine. If someone receives 7 doses of the epinephrine autoinjector, it could be fine, but we do not know. So the maximum dose deviation means, I mean, you can try, but it might go bad. So
Okay.
it's basically 6 is the maximum dose, and you can get away with giving up to 4 more, but you're risking at this time at this
Okay.
point.
So 6
Now
within
another
how much
thing
time?
is 6 minutes, 2 minutes. So now think of how much epinephrine it is per
minutes.
minute. So it's
Okay.
basically, if you give epinephrine every 20 seconds, you're fine. Also, if you give epinephrine every 20 seconds, you're busy doing basically only giving epinephrine. There's like,
Okay.
if you give epinephrine, like the auto injector, there's like 2 types. But if let's say we use the auto injector, giving 1 dose of epinephrine is 5 seconds. Then you have 15 other seconds to click around in the menu and do anything, and then you have to go right away and give another epinephrine. So that one is like, it's pretty hard to actually overdose someone. And then again, even if you give 1 too much, which will say like, so it's whatever 2 minutes divided by 7 is, so anything like a little less than 20 seconds, you see how hard it is to actually overdose someone with epinephrine, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is not to say that you can give someone epinephrine and not overdose them per se, but it could still have the effects that are could still have effects that are not good.
Because there's
So
a
I'm going to
random.
give someone
there's
6
a-
epinephrine. Here, I'm just going to quickly give someone 6 epinephrine as fast as I can,
Okay.
and you're going to see what happens. Well, actually, I think I only have
What should I
2
do
in my uniform. Let me check.
to observe the pulse? I should observe the pulse.
Yeah, actually, also give the person 2 more epinephrine, please.
Okay. Do I have to? Can I do that from the medical menu?
Yeah, you need to be on an arm, medication, and then.
Oh,
epinephrine.
okay. Arm, medication, epinephrine.
2 more. Actually, 3 more.
3 more.
Just pump it in as fast as you can.
They're already unconscious. How are we going to notice? What are we going to see? Won't let me do any more.
No, we're gonna
epinephrine.
look. If they lose their pulse suddenly, then we know that something wrong.
I can't inject
Okay.
epinephrine anymore.
Yeah, it's because we don't have enough. 1 sec. Right, I'll have to redo this. My bad.
Once this heart rate gets
Um,
over to like 220, you gotta keep it adding it.
Yeah, so like yeah, so we're gonna,
As you see, it's going down drastically,
Yeah.
like
and
177.
it hasn't been 2 minutes. Like I think, Beam will correct me if I'm wrong, but the time scale is based on what it says there, right? In the log,
Yeah.
it's not based on real time, right? The time scale.
In what way?
So since time and body is referring to a time, it's using the time that's given in the activity log, right? It's not using the actual like real life time, correct? Or is that not correct?
I'm gonna go for a water break, but when I'm back, I want to hear BMO's epinephrine rant. Okay.
And then we're mostly at it now. All right. So look, we've given this person so much epinephrine that they passed out,
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure. Holy fuck! What the
man.
fuck just happened? Okay. Bimo.
Raul.
Shakespeare, I'll go for my water break.
Hmm?
Okay.
Okay, Bimo. Quick question here, or hopefully quick question. Are you there? Welp.
I'm back. Sorry, that audio
Yeah, sorry.
broke.
Okay. So question here. So in cat medical, right? There's the time and body for medications.
Yeah.
Is this is referring to real world time, correct, or not?
Yes, real world time. What it does is it takes the mission time you injected it,
Mm-hmm.
and then takes away mission time. It's basically just mission time. It just takes away a bunch of bullshit.
Mission time is like the variable, not like the time
Y-
that we see as a
Yeah,
parameter.
mission time is just a variable that Arma has by default.
Okay.
I think it's like
Is it also
mission per
influenced by
time.
shit like frame rate?
No.
Okay, that's good.
All right, I'm back.
It's on the server.
Right. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So in this case, we injected a bunch of epinephrine, and at some point we actually like the pulse was so high, and also means that the heart rate is probably very high, and the person basically went into cardiac arrest because of that.
Okay.
That is because some of the vitals, if you have some set of vitals, that will bring you into cardiac arrest. So the
Okay.
maximum pulse or the maximum heart rate before cardiac arrest is 220,
Okay.
and then the minimum is 20. So like, if we actually bring someone like by using epinephrine so fast, if that happens, then they might not overdose, but they're still in cardiac arrest. You see,
Okay.
like, so this is like, even only because something is not overdosing someone doesn't mean it can have a bad effect. That's just
Okay.
one thing to consider.
It's,
Also, let me
it's
just
really
look
hard
at
to
it.
overdose someone with epi.
It is really hard to overdose someone with epi, but you can kill someone with using too much epi. Oh,
Okay.
wait, I teleported the wrong. Oh no, wait, sorry, I need to teleport my body back here, and then get the
There it
AI
is.
over here in remote control.
People. A lot of times I hear epi's evil. It's no, you're just using epi wrong.
Yeah, okay. So in general, if you use epinephrine for the process of giving someone a heart rate back, don't like. Usually the problem is not carrying enough, right? You don't want to use all your epi on one guy, right?
Yeah.
So it's really hard to overdose someone on it. Also, try not to go anything more than every 30 seconds, really, because why would you? Most of the time,
Okay.
like you're doing CPR, it just doesn't really.
Okay. It's good to know.
Well, what I've noticed with the so epi just times it by 1.5, and there's another drug. But the more you do CPR, I think it keeps adding on. The more of a heart rate you'll get back. Like it ups the chance
Yeah.
Okay.
in the
Yeah.
code.
So
Yo,
a lot of people are worried that if you give epi right before someone comes back up, that it will spike their heart rate so hard that they will go into cardiac arrest. This is basically does not happen unless someone's like a really high blood loss and you have a lot of epi and maybe even too much. So yeah,
Yeah.
just you
Okay.
can chill with it. It isn't that bad if you don't give like 6 or 7 in the span of 2 minutes.
Okay.
Just give like 1 every 30 seconds and you're honestly gonna be fine.
Okay. And
There's also other drugs that we're going to look at that will also have a good influence on doing defibrillation. So we're going to look at
Okay.
those too.
could now that we got BMO here, can BMO go on his epinephrine rant?
That's basically
Yeah,
what
epinephrine
I'm
rant?
explaining.
Oh,
That was
basically that.
talking about people who claim that epinephrine, you shouldn't use epinephrine when someone's unconscious, which
Well, in Ace Pharmacy, the numbers are actually higher compared to Cat. Cat's actually nerfed it, so the heart rate you gain is actually lower. But people think adding like jabbing. So in Ace Pharmacy, it's like dumbed down Cat. So jabbing someone with 2 epi and doing a CPR or AED, it's always an instant heart rate back. But it will spike because of pain and blood loss, and somewhat of the epi depending on what equipment you're using, AED, AEDX. CPR it doesn't. But people are like, oh my god, heart rate's spiking so high, and then they lose heart rate, and it's like, no, epi's bad. And it's like, epi's not bad. It's dumb. People are dumb.
Well said. Well said. Okay. So that is the first thing. So we're using the AED, the regular AED right now, and if you do everything right, you just either use the AED, it will tell you exactly what to do, or you're gonna use CPR.
And
if it tells you
epinephrine.
it can't do it.
Okay.
And epinephrine. You can also give epinephrine before shocking. That also works. I will now give you guys the bigger medic kit that will has the AEDX in it,
Oh.
because we're gonna look at what that thing does because it's cool. But it will also have a pitfall, and that's the thing we're gonna look at. All right.
Okay.
So, Polar.
What, the really
so
annoying beep
go ahead
noise?
and it's actually turned off by default. Okay, go ahead and apply the ADX to the chest.
Alrighty.
You have to click on the chest.
And that is going to be advanced treatment. Place
Mhm.
AEDX
Place
pads.
ADX. Yep. Exactly. You saw both options because the guy has an AD in his inventory. All right,
Okay.
and now we're gonna disconnect the pulse oximeter because it will have this annoying thing down there that's going on.
The fact
You know,
that it
because
flashes.
they're both coming in like at the.
How do I? Where does the
You have to go to the arm.
arm? They
Go
have
to
to go
the-
to
Yeah,
the
you
left
specific
click on
arm.
it.
Yep.
left
Go
arm.
to examine patient. You're on.
Oh,
We're
fuck.
already on the left arm. You have to think of. There's actually an L and an R for if you forget which
Oh,
one is
okay.
which.
Disable
And you just
pulse
remove it.
oximeter alarm. Remove
You can
pulse
remove it.
Remove it. Yep. Disabling the alarm will not actually turn off the display. It will just turn off like the beeping that happens.
oximeter. Okay.
Okay. So one thing that I've noticed, for some reason, the ADX is blinking for you.
Yeah.
I do not know why that is. It's really annoying. It should not be doing that. Okay. So now what we can do is we can click on the chest and then we click on View Monitor.
View monitor. Oh, okay.
There. Okay. All right. Now watch what happens when I do this.
That's a normal heart rate. Does nothing.
All right. So what does it look like?
Heart rate is inconsistent. It is.
Yeah,
going
it's
up and
fine.
down.
It's like 80,
Going up.
79,
Yeah, it's
whatever,
going down.
90.
It
It's-
is.
It's honestly fine.
This looks.
Okay, let's
tachycardic.
also select the right arm or the left arm, I don't care which one, and then we connect the vitals monitor. So you have to go
Okay.
back to the menu, press escape, go back to the menu, click
Left
on one of the
arm.
arms, important, and then
Vitals
connect vitals monitor.
Connect vitals monitor.
Yeah. So this one basically is like a cuff to see the blood pressure, and you can also see the SpO2.
Okay. But
All
it's
right.
blinking for
So
some
what do we
reason.
see now? Let's open the monitor again.
Monitor.
What do we see? What's the
SpO2 is below
what's
100.
the yeah,
SpO2
SpO2
is
is below
dropping.
100. Okay, what's the pressure? What's the pressure like? The blue thing.
The blue thing, it's 0 over 0. There's no blood pressure, so there's a
Yeah, is
pulse.
that good?
There's a heart rate, but there is no. That's electrical activity that's not causing an actual pulse to happen, right? So we need to
Yeah,
shock them.
Exactly. Try it out. Click analyze.
Analyze.
Analyzing now. Stand clear. No shock advised.
Okay, perform
It even tells you
CPR.
what to do.
I can do it right here,
You
right?
cannot perform CPR. Cause why? Cause we like the rhythm that the electric activity is totally fine. If we have good electric activity, shocking is not the solution.
Shocking is not the solution.
All
but
right.
Perform CPR.
Not the solution.
And epinephrine.
Yeah, perform CPR.
Okay.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna inject epinephrine. You can start the CPR.
Okay.
Dab him. Okay.
CPR for 30 seconds. So that's in-game 30 seconds, right?
No, you can count him basically.
What did you even do to him?
PEA. Gave him PEA.
Oh, so he's got no blood pressure?
Oh, a Zeus module. Like I can just click on what I want.
Oh, I see.
Pretty convenient actually. Makes training so much better.
It's gonna be like,
Okay,
man's got a
stop.
heart rate but no blood pressure? What the fuck?
We can stop.
Okay.
All right. Okay, analyze the rhythm.
Now. Stand clear. Shock advised.
All right. So either we wait for this thing to tell us what we do, or we look at the
My
monitor.
God, his
Does that look
fucking
normal?
pulse is high as fuck.
Shock.
Shock.
Yeah.
You
So
should
like
not have
basically
a heart
it's
rate.
beating so
What the fuck?
fast that it's not actually doing the right thing. So what we're gonna
Yeah.
do now is we're gonna administer shock and
This
see what
button.
happens.
Okay.
Push analyze.
Oh, yeah. So we don't even need to analyze. We can just give a push. All right. What does it look like?
It looks good now. His
think so too.
SpO2 is. Let's wait for it. He's got a blood pressure now. Okay, 109. That's something something. It's one of those is diastolic, and the other one's something something systolic or whatever the fuck.
Systolic, diastolic, yeah.
Yeah. Which one's on the top? Do you know?
I think it's a systolic. but I-
Systolic
but
and
Oh,
the
really?
systolic.
confusing the two.
Which one is the you know, the when the heart is at rest, the pressure when the heart is at rest? Is that which one is it?
Well, the low one is always low blood pressure, and the high number is always high blood pressure.
Okay, so it would make sense that the top one is when the heart is beating. It's actually and
So
the lower
systolic, I just
one
looked
is-
it up. So systolic blood pressure is the first number. It measures the pressure your blood is
Yeah.
pushing against your artery walls when the heart beats.
Yeah,
And
and
That
diastolic blood
should-
pressure is the second number. It measures the pressure your blood is pushing against your artery walls where the heart muscle rests between
Okay.
beats.
So I'm assuming it's 120 and then 80. So just,
bottom. What is it again? Bottom one is systolic or diastolic?
Bottom one is diastolic.
Diastolic. Okay,
Diastolic.
gotcha. Alrighty. Oh, his SpO2 is at 100. Yay, yippee, and his pulse is.
All right,
His
let's
heart
look
rate's
at
okay.
what's wrong with him now. So we can see the blood pressure is off the normal. Why is it? You can see 80 over 54.
It's a little low. It's low. It should be
Yeah,
like
why is that?
120 over 80, right?
Why is that? Yeah.
Lost a lot of blood.
Yeah, right. So that's also something. Some servers have the indication of for loss of blood. So then it's your responsibility to figure out if they actually have lost blood.
Okay.
And the way you can do that is you can figure out if they have an abnormal blood pressure, and then it gets more complicated if you give them stuff like morphine before, or if they have like epinephrine, norepinephrine, phenylephrine. There's like a bunch of things that change the blood pressure. But in
Okay.
this case, we see the blood loss. Whew. And so what we can do now is actually the last part of the cardiac part, so the C in March, which is give the fluid back. There's two IVs that we have. So just go ahead and select one of the arms.
Okay.
Mhm.
The arms.
So click on one of the arms and then go to advanced treatment.
Establish
And then
16 gram.
Establish a 16 gauge gauge.
16 gauge,
I don't know how to
okay.
pronounce it. IV. Just click on it. Yep. All right.
Okay.
So now we can give different amounts and types of fluid. In general, so now this is the part where we don't have kidney damage on. If we had kidney damage on, we would, or the kidney function on, and blood clotting factors, we would need to consider what fluids we use. So, for example, if you give too much saline, it will make it so your kidney will fail. There's an
Okay.
explanation of it in the medical guide. I have not used this feature really because no one really wants to use it. It's kind of annoying to deal
sucks.
with.
everyone hates kidneys.
Yeah, everyone hates kidneys. So, I think it's fine and it's kind of fun if you do things on your own. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I could carry live kidneys with me and do kidney transplants, I fucking would.
that is such a funny suggestion that I will write that down for kidney for April jokes for the cat medical server. I will ask for a kidney transplant feature. But yeah, so yep. So yeah, let's give him some fluid because right now we don't need to actually care. There's actually something kind of interesting that we can do, which is these IVs allow you to give multiple fluids at once. So just start by giving this person a 500 milliliter blood IV.
Blood IV. Okay.
Yep. While you do this, I'll explain something else. In this case, we're just giving blood, quote unquote blood. And on this server, you don't need to worry about blood types. But that is a thing in Cat Medical.
Okay.
And if you give someone a wrong blood type, then they will get clotting problems.
Okay.
And they will lose their heart rate and will go unconscious and into cardiac arrest. And the way you treat this is by giving painkillers. I guess the logic behind it is that some painkillers, I think they interfere with clotting.
Wait, can
and
you
so
repeat
guess
that? I
that's
lost you.
apparently how you-
I lost you there. Can you repeat
So, yeah.
that?
So let's say this guy is like A positive, and you give that person B positive blood.
Uh-huh.
What's gonna happen is they will lose their heart rate over time, and then they will just pass out and die if you don't do anything.
Okay.
The way you treat this is you give them painkillers.
Okay.
I think the logic is that some painkillers, I don't know how this works in real life or if it actually does who knows? Probably not that simple. But basically, what it will do is it will fix the whole issue. So yeah, if you give
Okay.
someone wrong blood, you just give them painkillers.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's it.
Loss
I
of
personally don't
some
even know
blood.
if you like. I don't know what the dose is. If you need to like think of the dose or whatever. But yeah, I'm just gonna give this person a little more blood loss so you can see the effects here.
Okay.
And just start giving all types of fluids, all 3 of them.
Okay.
It is straight up just like painkillers.
500 ml
Wrong
each.
blood.
500 ml each. Shakespeare.
Yeah,
500
ml
ml
each.
Okay, giving 500 ml blood.
So you give blood, I give plasma, and then I forgot your name, other person here. Toga, just give saline 500 mils.
Oh shit.
Well, each level is around 900 milliliters.
What? What?
Yeah, so there should be, if you go to the left arm, the one that has this green line on it,
Yeah.
under advanced treatment, there's the give saline option in IV, and it's 500 mils, so you're gonna give.
Okay.
So right now, if you can see, if you're in the menu folder, you can see that those are all flowing at the same time.
Okay. Receiving, yeah.
So courtesy of Cat Medical, you can just pump them full of fluids, and it's super fast, because courtesy of Ted configured this. So the flow rates and bleed rates and whatever is all configurable within Cat Medical,
Okay.
and is, you know, you can change it to your heart's delight. So, but yeah, like all of this is flowing in at the same time, meaning that it is basically, you don't need to give separate IVs for separate fluids. And it also means that if you only carry one type, you're missing out on the bonus of being able to stack them.
Okay.
So that's just one thing to consider. If you carry multiple types and you make sure that you always have multiple types in your inventory, then you can give someone faster recovery.
Okay, so what are these various things? Is there any ratio of the things you need to worry about, or can you like
With plasma, saline, and blood, like what
yeah,
levels you get?
plasma, saline, and blood?
Okay,
Like
so
what ratios do you?
Here's the short. Here's the short of like with kidney function stuff enabled. And again, it's you will probably see it. Okay, so basically what happens is you will change the pH of the kidney. If you give someone blood, it will restore pH. If you give someone saline or plasma, it will drop it.
Okay.
No, actually, sorry. Plasma increases it, saline drops it, and blood increases it. And it also gives coagulation factors. So
Wait, what does
if you have
plasma
the
do?
kidney function on,
Plasma does what?
plasma
it?
increases the pH.
So plasma and blood increase pH, saline lowers it.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
It's a
Did you-
counter game.
Yeah. So let me just look at the kidney function, because I honestly
You would push
looked at the stack
blood
once and then I
and then
just
saline.
ignored it. Here we go. So
Oh.
alright. So a normal pH is above 750. And if, let's say, yeah, all right. So let's say that you will lose the pH because you give saline. If you just keep giving someone saline, their pH is going to go very low, and it's the lower it gets at some point, it's just going to fail. The kidneys are going to fail. And what happens when your kidney fails is 50%, like a 50% chance, which leads to cardiac arrest, and also the kidney will not restore itself anymore. Meaning
Okay.
that you will have to do dialysis in a medical vehicle.
Okay. How do you measure the
Yeah.
pH?
You can check their breath basically. So if you check someone's breath and it stings harsh and metallic, it means that someone has kidney failure.
Oh, okay.
If it's mild, it means that it's like about to be really bad. It could be 250. It could also be 500. Like you don't know. And then if it's good, then it's like between 750 and 1500. Yep. And like
Okay.
normally a kidney can regenerate itself, but at some point if you just bombard it with shit, then yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we're just gonna ignore that after now.
Okay, cool. Good to know, though. Good to know.
Good to know. Okay, so we've gone through most of all the steps now, since the person is back and lost some blood. Now, if we look at the blood pressure and we know that they haven't been giving any other medication, we can estimate how far they are to an actual normal fluid level. So, lost some blood will go up, like will be up to 900 milliliters of fluid lost.
Okay.
Now, if someone has 90 over whatever the fuck it was, and the normal is, I think it was 90 over 60, right?
Yeah.
And normal is 120 over 80.
Yeah.
What do you think is their blood loss right now?
Wait.
Just
What do you mean?
guesstimated. Is it like more towards 900 milliliters or almost like back to normal? What do you think?
It's more towards 900 milliliters.
Exactly. So, at this stage, without anything, I will just put this person just square on the edge of lost some blood. So 5.22 here. We'll see that blood pressure will go even a bit lower, maybe. Yeah. Here. So 90 over 60 is usually the border, right around the border. So if someone is at 90, 60, you can kind of give 500 to 1,000, and like you've barely wasted anything.
Okay.
In general, people are hesitant to like give too much, and it depends on how many supplies you have. So, lost some blood is usually like what means that you're stable. But if this guy falls over a rock and like you wait 5 seconds, they're back to lost a lot. So, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's lost a lot or lost large
So-
amount. I keep forgetting. I see the shade of red and I do it.
Okay, so just
So
for
yeah, you
good
can give the
practice,
person-
I'll give him 500 milliliters of blood and then 500 ml of saline.
Yeah. Alright, you give the blood, I give the saline.
Okay.
And in general, this is also important to communicate around you because you don't want to, like, if someone's on critical levels of loss, you want to make sure that everyone is giving it separate type. And it just makes it easier.
Okay.
So yeah, so this person was missing roughly 900 milliliters. So yeah, we're not wasting a lot of fluids here.
Okay.
And then we're going to see their blood pressure slowly recover back to like absolutely normal.
Okay.
I want to get it to 120.
Yeah, 120 over 80. All right. Okay. So this is basically as far as we go in March, because the H in March stands for hypothermia and head injuries.
Okay.
And we do not have hypothermia yet. So hypothermia, I've read in the dev channel of Card Medical, the Discord, is actually coming, or it's actually already added to the dev branch, I think, and some other things. But head injuries.
Another thing that needs to be turned off. You know,
Alright,
they have
so yeah.
they have to have a warm temperature to every clothing now.
That would be super funny. Okay, so yeah, but I think what they do is they actually add like warmers, like basically if you put in fluids that are cold, that's mostly the issue that they're going to look at with Cat Medical. I don't think they consider the actual surroundings.
I know
Yeah,
it's
so
how
they
you
have, like,
go. Make
So
it
like I guess
colder.
you can heat them. I think if you give IVs in vehicles, and now they're going to be heated or something, or there's like warmer, like these pads you put around the IV bag. I think I don't know.
The
how they
Daisy
do it.
warmer packs.
Oh, those exist in Daisy.
Yeah, you just snap them and then they just warm you up.
Yeah, but basically 4 IV bags. Okay, so now the last thing that will not necessarily the last thing all the time, but in this case, as soon as we got cardiac under control, and they're back to lost some blood, and their heart rate is at 80, or to be more precise, their pulse is at 80, we could hit. There's two types of waking people up. Either you reorient a patient, which is the slapping noise you just heard.
Okay.
Or you use ammonium carbonate.
That wakes
So
them the
carbonate.
fuck up.
So okay, so there's a little bit more to this. The reorientation means that they have they're in stable vitals, meaning that they have above 85% oxygen saturation. They've lost less than 900 milliliters of blood. Their heart rate is above 40, and their blood pressure is above 60 to 50.
Okay.
60 over 50. So in general, you're probably going to encounter those if you have 5.1 liters plus blood loss. And then the only thing you need to remember is the oxygen saturation. And then there's another thing, which is the successful reorientation chance is going to be at 80 BPM. And this is again a setting thing, but default, you have a 50-50 chance of waking someone up by slapping them.
How do you do that? Head?
Yeah, we're gonna look at this. So you don't see it right now because the person's already waken up, and I'm just gonna knock him unconscious again.
Okay.
So Toggle unconscious. Boom. All right. Just so it's under the medication tab. If you go to the head.
Okay. Reorient patient.
Yeah.
Okay. That's got a low chance of.
All right. So and they're gonna actually look like they're woken up. So it's reorient again. We know they have perfect vitals. We just need to slap them another time because it's 50%. Boom. They're up. Okay.
Okay.
Knock them unconscious again. Now use carbonate.
Use carbonate.
Yep.
All right, they're up.
All right. So the maximum chance for carbonate is also default 50%. And for that one, you need to have a 100 to 140 over whatever. So like the systolic pressure needs to be between 100 and 140. At that point, it has the highest chance. Now the chances will decrease if it goes too far below or above that.
Okay.
But in general, what you need to know, you just slap or apply ammonium carbonate just as long as they have lost some blood and their saturation is above 85%.
Okay.
As long as you get that, yeah, as long as you got that, just slap him.
Okay. Cool beans.
But again, like it needs to be stable vitals, so oxygen above 85%. So like if their heart rate for any reason was to be very low, you would use and like it's pretty hard to get that. Like you'd have to use quite some medication for this to happen. But if that happens for some reason that they don't have the viable heart rate or it's just very low, then you might want to use carbonate instead.
Okay.
If you know their blood pressure is good. But like again, if you use let's say if someone has like I don't know like the fentanyl and maybe nalbuphine and for some reason they haven't passed out yet, then you might want to use like at that point like their blood pressure is also going to be tanked in my experience.
You want
So
to use Narcan.
yeah, but just keep it in mind. Like one is only good for blood pressure, the other is only good with pulse. And it used to be that you could use carbonate. That you could use carbonate at any level. That was fun, dude. That was when Ace Medical was the most fun I ever had with it. Basically, you could just push in fluids and slap them, or you could go like the super fast speedrun route where you basically min-max the medication you give them to give them the right blood pressure, and then at any type of blood loss except for fatal, you would just wake them up instantly. It was so cool. It was
Okay.
it was not like medically believable and immersive necessarily, but it was so cool to do.
Okay.
I think
So,
people can agree with me that
oh,
that time was cool.
DJ's joining. So, what's the things? You said one is good with heart rate, and
Yeah,
one is good with
so
pulse, and the
the-
other one's good with blood pressure.
so
What are those two
the-
things?
Yeah, so reorientation is good when you have a good pulse,
Good
and
pulse,
the
okay.
ammonium carbonate is good when you have a good blood pressure.
Okay.
If for
gotcha.
any reason one of these deviate on their own, which rarely happens in CAT, but if it does happen, then you know which one to use.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right. So now that we've done all this, let's look at the inventory, because there's a lot more to learn if you're still up for it, because we've been talking about this quite a lot. But,
That's fine. I want to learn it all.
All right. Let's open up our inventory. We're going to look at all the things that we haven't looked at necessarily.
Okay.
Right. So in the uniform, I usually carry, like as a medic, I usually carry nothing but the pulse oximeter medically and the tourniquets maybe. This actually could use a couple less tourniquets, I believe. Let me check. No, I think I removed them from the backpack. Anyways, so anything anything interesting starts really at the plate carrier.
Okay. Well, can we take a break?
So
Take a quick pause. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right.
Thanks.
Quick bathroom break.
No way. Oh,
What's up?
I thought Arma crashed.
Oh, do you just tab out?
Yeah, but what?
Sometimes it looks stuck, even if it's not.
Crash defender.
Crash defender?
Yeah, what the fuck?
What shady thing did you download?
Nothing. It's from AMD. It's from Radeon.
Oh, okay. Um. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It. I think it crashed.
All right, then just try to restart it. I mean, Paul is on a
Like,
bathroom break,
it didn't
so
crash. It didn't crash. Like Arma 3 is black. Is a black screen. I can enter. I can
Yikes.
hear your voice chat on Arma, but I can't see anything. Wow. Thank you, AMD.
Okay, I'm back.
okay. Let me close my window again. Okay. Yeah, mic is working. Sweet. All right. Let's start with the plate carrier. Everything that's in the plate carrier. So the 16 gauge IV. Sorry if I keep mispronouncing that, but whatever. The IV. We've got probably a little bit too many of this in the kit. So the way that I pack these is I just assume another medic forgets their IVs.
By the way,
They're not
gauge
that
is how
heavy.
you, it's gauge. It's gauge is how you pronounce
It's
that.
gauge?
Yeah, gauge.
Yeah, okay. Gauge. Okay, so 16 gauge IV. Thanks for that. And the reason is that I pack more than I need is sometimes people forget them and it really sucks if it happens. But yeah, they don't weigh as much. You don't need to do this. In general, I would just count at how many products you're carrying with you. Like, let's say in this kit, this is like super over. Like, look at how heavy we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this
Jesus.
is like super overtuned. It only works because the server doesn't punish you as much
Yeah.
for being a little bit overweight.
Otherwise,
So
the
this is
limit
like-
would be like
everything is
40
overtuned.
pounds, right?
Yeah, everything in this kit is overtuned, so will be different for everyone. But in general, if you just look at how many different fluids you carry, you can kind of count at how many IVs you'll probably use.
Okay.
Now, if someone receives an IV from you, that's probably because they lost more than 500. So let's say if you carry only 500 mil bags, let's say you carry a 15, it's pretty plausible to say that you're gonna need at most 15 and probably less. So in general, like the amount of IVs, you can be pretty conservative with them, but since they don't weigh as much, it also doesn't matter if you don't. That's
Okay.
how many IVs do I bring? I think the funniest kid I've ever seen was on KC, where someone brought 140 IVs.
Wow.
What?
Someone brought 140 IVs to, and I think the reason was also that they said if someone forgets them. But honestly, the whole fucking platoon of medics could have forgotten IVs at that point, and he would have still had more than he needed. Like, it was super fucking crazy. So yeah, 140 IVs, you don't need them. That's definitely too many. All right, so then we talked about the AAT kit. This is there's the NCD and the AAT kit. So that is to treat hemopneumothorax and tension pneumothorax. We're going to skip the bandages, we're going to skip the chest C and go to the morphine auto-injector. Right, so morphine is traditionally the only painkiller except painkillers, or in CAT it is called combat pill pack. The morphine auto-injector is one of many different painkillers, and if you look into the CAT medical guide, you will actually see everything that's colored in blue is a painkiller, and there are several types of them.
Okay.
Morphine is an opioid, and so opioids, they will tank your vitals, usually,
Okay.
to some degree, to varying degree. Morphine is pretty bad, and that's why morphine should be used, or the morphine auto-injector should only be used if you, for some reason, really need that pain treatment. since pain punishes you in the way that it gives you an aim shake on a lot of servers,
Yeah.
I often use morphine in a fight where I know that if I don't hit whatever I need to hit, then it's going to have a bad outcome.
Okay.
So morphine auto-ejector. Also, if you have like a fracture or whatever, and you have severe pain, you can give a morphine auto-ejector. I only carry 2, and they're mostly for myself because I usually never give them to anyone else. Now that is the morphine auto-injector. Let's just go item by item. So the next one that we haven't seen is TXA. So TXA, I keep forgetting what the actual name is. I think it's something like tranexamic. Forgot what it is. Wait, I'll look it up. Tranexamic acid or something. Of course, it shows me the German one. Wait. Yeah, it's tranexamic acid. So it's what it does. TXA is in Cat Medical. It has 2 ways it functions, depending on the configuration. It will either work with the blood clot system, and it will basically, let's say, if you have kidney on, you can use your ability to clot. If you clot too many, like if you clot too often, or you have no clotting factors left due to giving too much saline, for example, and you just ran out of them, basically, then you won't be clotting on your own.
Okay.
And TXA works with these clotting factors, and it makes them so they are more durable, I believe.
Okay.
And I think ECHA is kind of the same. Oh, sorry, we're gonna look to the other thing later. But on this server, TXA will basically work as someone bandaging. So TXA will apply a packing bandage, the equivalent of a packing bandage, to just some random body part every so and so seconds. I think it might be 20, but it might also be less.
Okay.
Let me look that up real quick. Actually, no, I'm not going to look it up, but what I'm going to emphasize is that the maximum dose of TXA is 3.
Okay.
But there's a deviation of up to 2. And if you need someone might have a lot of injuries that need a lot of bandaging super fast, then TXA is basically a helping hand, and it's going to bandage everything just every couple seconds for 2 minutes.
Okay.
So TXA, if someone has a bunch of different wounds, you can literally just set an IV, apply TXA, and go straight to other things.
Okay.
Sometimes that's more viable than using all your bandages. And it's also just convenient, honestly. Sometimes you'll see people just use it for convenience.
Okay.
But yeah, so what TXA does is for 2 minutes, it will basically bandage someone for free.
Okay.
Pretty cool. Pretty neat.
Cool
Pretty
beans.
useful. The combat pill pack used to be the
Max-
painkillers, and so there's
TXA maximum of
3
2?
plus 2. 3 plus 2. If I say plus 2, it means that's the uncertainty range. You might overdose someone on it.
3. Okay. I'll keep it on 3.
So 3, yeah. So if someone is like full red, then they might need 5, and it's okay.
Okay.
Like you can get away with it. And, like even if you overdose someone, the blood loss will kill them faster. Trust me.
Okay.
We can worry about other things later. All right. So the combat pill pack. A combat pill pack has 10 pills, and they used to be called painkillers. And then Ace has their own painkillers, so now like they needed a different name, or whatever reason they renamed them. They still work the exact same. So regular painkillers, what they do is they kill what is it? I think it's like I think the maximum you need is, I believe, 3 or 4. The maximum dose for them is 6 within 10 minutes. 6 plus 4 within 10 minutes.
Okay.
So again, it's really hard to overdose on these. And you usually, like, I would just give 3 for most and maybe 4. Because they really don't have a lot of side effects.
Okay.
Oh wait, I think they actually toned down. There might only be 4 pills per item now. I just looked at the guide. I think it might be less now.
Okay.
But yeah, so you have to experiment with that. It used to be 10, maybe it's 4 now. But I usually don't run out of these. Everyone in the crew should carry them, and you shouldn't be the only one carrying them.
Okay.
Okay. So fragmentation grenades. No, I'm just kidding. So, okay.
Helps with
All right,
constipation.
Helps with. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. The quick relief. All right. So let's go to the backpack then. So the backpack, we know the 16. Fuck. Was it
16 gauge. Yeah.
Thanks. All right. 16 gauge. We already know. We know the AT kit. Same things here. And then you have the AccuVac. So if you've never seen this thing before, this is like the thing that does suction for you. If you use airway suction, that's the AccuVac.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the next auto-injector, which is adenosine. So adenosine, what it does, it will decrease the heart rate and it will decrease the blood pressure for 2 minutes.
Okay.
So maybe you could see how this might be useful. For example, if someone has like high intense pain, and so their vitals are spiked up a little bit, you can give them adenosine to give them in like the proper heart rate or like pulse rate for things like waking them up. So that's what adenosine can be useful, and it's also just a counter for effects of epinephrine. So yeah, if for some reason it is like you overuse some drugs or whatever, adenosine is pretty useful. But it's not the most important thing, so I usually don't carry a lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah, it has a situation where it's valid. So that's adenosine. I think Ariel, what adenosine also does, I think it actually stops your heart real quick. Like I think it will actually have like a short term, just knocks you out cold. I think you have like a crazy sense of doom. But yeah, it can be used to treat things like tachycardia. It's pretty crazy. But in Cat Medical, it's just like BP go down, heart rate go down. That's it.
Okay. But it only lasts for 2 minutes, so why would I want to? What? It's only for the sole reason of if I want to perfect
so
the
it
vitals
stays in
for
your
the-
body for 2
waking-
minutes. That's like there's something else. The time in body. Now this might be wrong, but I think I've looked into the actual duration of how long the effects last, and I think the effects lasts. You know what? We're just gonna test this. So you see how we have Shakespeare here, and we're gonna give him some epinephrine.
Okay.
Right. So we're gonna look at the effects. 1, 2, 3. Well, actually, I'm just gonna stop the time. I'm not gonna count this whole time. So it goes up now. It will take some time to ramp up properly.
I need to restart the whole computer.
Alright,
Okay.
see you in a bit. So we're roughly at 30 seconds now. And so the heart rate's still up. Blood pressure's still up. So if I'm correct, and this is me testing this now. If I'm correct, the actual effect will go down before. Yeah, look, heart rate is not 91. This wasn't just like. Let's see. So now we're almost at 1 minute effect. Yep. See how it drops?
Yep. So since it only lasts for 2 minutes approximately, the only reason for this would be to get the ideal vitals to wake someone up for, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to refresh, what's the ammonia something? What's that called?
Carbonate, ammonium carbonate.
The carbonate. That is good for what type of vital?
Blood pressure.
Blood pressure. So if blood pressure is optimal, use carbonate. And then what's the other option for if the pulse is what's optimal?
Reorienting. So
Okay.
slapping.
Okay. Gotcha.
I refer to it as slapping or reorientation. Okay, so like the effect decreases, right? So in total, like the epinephrine will not have this full effect for the whole 2 minutes. It will decrease over time, and I think at the end of its like being in the body, I think it will have 0. So it's not going to be constant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So that's why I thought it. It's not. It doesn't like go
okay.
completely away within the 2 minutes, but it will like reach at the end of its lifespan.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So what I'm gonna do now is, fuck. I don't know if I have the module for this. There's like this module where you can give someone damage. God damn. Alright, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna basically give this guy just a tourniquet.
Okay.
Hey,
Where?
y'all up to?
I already did it, so it's on the leg.
Okay, there we go.
So we know blood pressure is not an issue here. We're gonna knock this guy unconscious.
Y'all doing a class?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just shut
And
up
then
and
we're gonna-
watch then.
We're gonna also give this guy King LT real quick. Shouldn't have obstructed or occluded yet. Alright, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just shoot, and now we need to make sure it's the correct leg. So it's the right leg. We're gonna shoot the right leg.
Okay.
Alright.
Broken bone.
Yep. Alright. So now, what I was testing here real quick is, 'cause I keep forgetting if this actually is what happens. Yeah, look. So now, we see there's no change in heart rate or blood pressure. Like before the injury, and now that we've given this guy the injury, look at how the vitals are different.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know how the vitals are different.
Look at the heart rate and the blood pressure. They don't have any blood loss. They're not even lost. They're not even at lost some blood because we have the tourniquet on.
Yeah.
So, I'm just gonna give another tourniquet here. Also break this leg. So this person, if they were awake, would they be in pain? Probably yes.
Yeah.
But if they're unconscious, look at that. The vitals are increased.
Their vitals are increased because the tourniquet.
Not only that, if I just put in a tourniquet on an arm, just wait for a little bit.
Now, could even though it's not showing pain in real life, wouldn't the increased blood pressure and all that show pain?
Right, so so basically what I'm trying to say is I am pretty sure that pain affects you if you're unconscious. Like they're like basically there is like pain and you're not conscious, but your vitals are still increased because of it.
Okay.
So just like real life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna give this guy 6 painkillers, give him 3. So it's under the head,
Under the head.
UCWMP,
Use-
and then
so CWMP stand for? Combat.
combat pill pack something. Blah,
Okay.
blah,
CWMP. Okay, so that's just a general across the board painkiller thing.
Yeah.
Do it. You're doing it 3 times. I'll do it 3 times as well.
We just give 5. It's fine.
5.
for
So
now.
I'll do it one more time, right?
Fucking combat ibuprofen. Probably.
Okay, I've given him 2 already. Now what?
Now we wait. So one thing that the side effects of the painkillers are increased heart rate.
Okay.
So they do have like a little bit of a side effect.
Does it affect blood pressure in any way?
Yeah. So the blood pressure is going down right now,
Okay.
and that is also like so. Steel Lymph has increased heart rate slightly, decreased blood pressure.
Yeah.
But I was actually expecting something else. So maybe that's not it. Who knows? But my experience was that if someone has pain, that they will feel it while they're unconscious, or like not feel it, but it's gonna affect the vitals even if they're unconscious. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I have not looked at the actual code here, so this is a little bit off the hip here. Now, I need to actually need to check this. Wait, I'll just check it on you. You know what? You're conscious. We're gonna check this on you. I'm gonna apply tourniquet to you, and then we're gonna look at the blood pressure.
Tourniquets should cause pain, right?
Over time. So what I'm trying to rule out here is like maybe it's modeled so that if you have like a tourniquet on for some reason, maybe it increases the blood pressure, but like we will see. So right now your blood pressure is totally fine. You should at some point have pain. This might be a configuration thing or not, but I'm pretty sure that tourniquets will cause pain over time. Alright, we'll just wait for this to happen. But we saw that the blood pressure didn't spike up any yet, so I'm pretty sure it's the pain.
Okay.
And also that we've taken off the other tourniquet, like the blood pressure hasn't increased or decreased any. So I don't know, like it's a little weird. It's something I don't necessarily fully understand. But if we, I mean, like the thing is, if we gave someone, actually I do have a way. So we're gonna look at, I'm gonna introduce like another painkiller, which is ketamine. If you look at ketamine, that one, I don't know what the class of it is. I don't know if it's like an amphetamine or whatever. But ketamine basically increases heart rate and blood pressure. So like, let's see how the vitals actually change.
Okay.
So ketamine is a very strong pain, like has very strong pain reduction. So blood pressure, I think it increased a little bit, right?
Haven't noticed. You're talking about me, right? My blood pressure?
No, Shakespeare.
Okay.
On the ground. Alright, let's just gonna see what happens when we wake this guy up, because at this time, like,
Ooh,
it's
let me
gonna
do
be a
it.
little bit hard to wake him up.
What do we use? Reorient or carbonate?
I would
The-
probably say
The
use
pulse is
reorient.
high. The pulse is
But
high.
we can actually do
and
one
the
of these. So what we're gonna
blood
do now is
pressure.
we're gonna give this guy adenosine. Just give this guy adenosine, and then we're gonna slap
Okay.
him. But you see what I mean? Like right now, this
Wait a
guy
minute.
has no blood loss, so we should be able to wake him up. But there's
Where-
other reasons why we can't.
Where do I go? Oh, head.
On the
Yeah, head.
arm.
On the arm, I give him
On the
the
arm.
adenosine. Oh,
And then you
okay.
give adenosine.
injected
Yeah, it's
adenosine.
injection.
Okay.
Yep. So this is one of these situations where they have no blood loss, so we can get them up. But there's other reasons why we can't. So we give him adenosine, and now we kind of need to find the right window here. So I would just start, like after like 5 seconds, I would just start, because then it will go.
Okay.
It might go below, so we'll just reorient.
Okay.
Like,
Alrighty.
just have you seen the movie Airplane?
No, haven't.
All right.
Where? What category? So once I click on the head, what category is reorient again? Medication. Reorient. Yeah.
Yeah. Here we
Okay.
go.
So you did it a few
So this
times.
guy
and
woke
it
up
finally
now with a
worked.
hard hit. Yep. So it finally worked.
He woke up what? With
Okay.
a hard head.
So let's see. The guy is not in pain right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if you look at the vitals are actually insanely good. I mean, it's like a little elevated blood pressure. Maybe it's going to go back up. But like, I don't know how the code internally works for Cat Medical. My expectation would have been that the vitals go a little bit down actually once we give ketamine. Not to like normal levels. But,
Ketamine? You mean adenosine?
yeah, because it should. No, like what I'm saying is like the ketamine, like the pain relief might offset the
Oh, okay.
the increase in vitals. It's like it's not real science here. We're just like going off vibes.
Okay, gotcha.
Medicine. Vibes based.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But yeah. All right. I'm just gonna fix this guy, and also so pain medication is like one important thing. Try to use the least intrusive one, and the least intrusive one is usually the painkillers.
Okay.
The reason why I might not do them is because I don't know, because it takes longer, I
Okay.
guess. And some pain medication holds longer, but in general, yeah, just try to use pain pill, like the pills, the CWMPs, whenever you can.
Okay.
If it goes to severe pain, for example, I would use maybe another drug that's called nalbuphine. So nalbuphine is also an opioid. It will also tank the vitals, but not as much as the others.
What? Is that within the CWMP, the combat pill pack?
No. The nalbuphine is another opioid. So that's if you go to the arm with the IV, you can push. So like if you have an injector, it will say inject. If you have medication in a vial, it will say push.
If you
So in
have
this
what,
case,
it'll
what you could
inject.
use, you could. If you have an injector, it will say
Oh, okay.
inject,
Okay.
like an auto injector.
Okay. Push
And if you
means you have
have
to use
a
a
vial,
syringe.
you have to use So like it
Okay.
has to go into an IV.
Okay.
So we could push something called nalbuphine.
Nalbuphine?
Nalbuphine.
Nalbuphine.
Nalbuphine,
Okay.
yeah. Nalbuphine, Nalbuphine. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Okay, push it.
Hmm.
Okay, pushing Nalbuphine. That's another form of painkiller, right?
Yeah. I mean, the guy doesn't need it right now, but we're just doing it for show.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. So at some point, we're gonna see that it will lower the vitals considerably,
Okay.
but not too crazy like morphine or fentanyl would.
Okay. Ketamine, what is that? It's an opioid, but it doesn't.
No, ketamine or
Yeah.
nalbuphine.
Ketamine. Ketamine is a.
Ketamine is, I think it's an amphetamine, but I will look that up. for you.
Probably. I'm pretty sure it's an opioid.
All right. So
It's a very light. No, I'm thinking of kratom actually. Kratom is the opioid I'm thinking of. Maybe you're right. You're probably right. It's an amphetamine.
might not be. I don't know. Just might. I don't know. I don't know
What is
class
the
it is.
what is the
And,
EtCO2? The
I
CO
will look at. We can look at that in a little bit. It's just not as relevant
Oh, okay.
right now.
Okay.
So that's why I'm pushing it back. But yeah, so ketamine will increase blood pressure and heart rate. It's the only one that does both. Increase both.
Okay.
The painkillers like increases heart
So
rate,
it's a
but
stimulant.
decreases blood pressure. I think so.
Yeah.
So I think you can party on it. So yeah. So nalbuphine and fentanyl, morphine, all those are depressants.
Okay.
And ketamine, is.
Ketamine
the
isn't
opposite,
a,
I forgot the name.
it
Then
is
there's
a
also another one, which is
stimulant.
Pervitin. Pervitin is, I think, this is like this World War II era, or maybe even Vietnam era. I don't know, but it's like this.
I don't see Pervitin.
This like, yeah, because I don't have it right now. So Pervitin is a little crazy. So what Pervitin does is it suppresses pain, but it also increases heart rate and blood pressure, and then it also gives you a stamina boost depending on the configuration.
Okay.
It will also increase like in a visual effect called chromatic aberration, which do you know, like when you take a picture and then you zoom in on a house corner or something and it has like red and you see like the color split on the edge.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that you'll have that all over your screen. So that's where and
With
the edges
what?
severely. With Pervitin, with fentanyl, with ketamine, they all cause chromatic aberration. Which is
Okay,
like
I've seen
a
that
visual
before.
effect. Yeah, and so what it also gives you is weapon sway.
Really? What's
So
the
yeah.
point of suppressing the pain
So
if it gives you weapons?
I remember in another place where people were using Pervitin, like they were just spamming Pervitin really hard, and then they would complain about weapon sway.
So Pervitin is the only one that gives you weapon sway of all the painkillers.
Yeah, that's why I don't use this, because weapon sway is always already a consideration that's annoying. So
I mean,
that's why I don't
weapon-
use Pervitin. But it's kind of cool.
Eliminating
can-
weapon sway is the
you
whole
can-
point of reducing pain in this game.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then you give more, so I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe this is configuration. I don't know if it's actually still in there. Sometimes the guide is outdated. I don't know.
Okay, I'm
But
gonna go to
I
the
don't use
bathroom. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Be right back.
All right. Bimo, have you ever heard someone refer to the Panthrox inhaler as the green rocket or green missile or something? I think actually someone on this server was calling it the green rocket or green missile or something. I don't remember which one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, at some point, but that's not the point. Like right now. Poor guy's demonstration. I mean, it's me, okay? This is me. I can do whatever I want to myself. Right, let me just check if this guy has the right fractures for this. This is the only time I check a fraction. I don't want it to be simple. Comminuted. That's good. Fuck. What is it actually? Comminuted? The one with C. Comminuted. And... But it didn't say what it is on the left.
Alright, I'm back.
Maybe that's
Now
why
I'm
it
in
might
pain.
say the same. Yeah, because you have the tourniquet. Now, what's your heart rate?
My heart rate. Hold on.
Look, your blood pressure is elevated and your pulse is up. So
My pulse is up, yep,
Yeah.
and my blood pressure is, yep.
Yep. So, yeah, okay. Just take that off. I think the demonstration for that is kind of over.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess it's a little bit of a mystery for me when the pain goes away, if you're unconscious or not, and it's like, depending on what medicine you use, it also fucks with the vitals. It's
Okay.
just not as straightforward. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So that is all the pain medication. Oh, right. The green missile / green rocket or whatever. It's
Hold on.
It's the Penthrox inhaler.
Green missile.
Yeah.
What?
So the Penthrox inhaler is
I
kind
don't
of
see the
looks
green
like
missile,
some
bro.
like a
What are you
rocket.
talking about?
It's if you go to the backpack inventory, scroll all the way down, and that's the second from the
Oh.
bottom.
Okay.
Second from the
Penthrox
bottom
inhaler.
there. Penthrox
Okay.
inhaler. So like the thing in the front there looks, it could resemble a missile or a rocket. So
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know. I've just heard someone refer to that. I don't know if that's like a common term. I don't think. It looks, yeah. Who knows? Whatever. Okay, so the Penthrox inhaler is also interesting. I think some random country's military doesn't use it anymore because of some suspected side effects, but we don't care about that. So it suppresses pain, it decreases the heart rate, and increases blood pressure. So basically, exactly what we want for someone that has like low fluids. We want the heart pressure, the blood pressure to increase. We want the heart rate to decrease. So the Penthrox inhaler is kind of like pretty cool, if you ask me.
Okay.
Now it suppresses 0.6 pain, and each inhaler I think has, I don't know, 4 uses maybe. It will say that in the inventory.
Not in the inventory.
Or
no.
is it? Yeah, I don't know. It has a couple uses. Maybe it's 5. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so you don't need like one per every use.
Okay. How do I apply it? What's it called?
Hey, let's do a Penthrox
Penthrox.
blinker. No, but
Penthrox inhaler. How do I apply that if I needed to?
yeah, you apply it to the face. So
The
Penthrox
face,
inhaler.
okay.
Let's just pump
Use
this guy
Penthrox,
full with
okay.
Penthrox.
Use Penthrox.
Yeah,
I'll
the
do it.
maximum is 4, so literally everyone can do it.
Okay.
Then you can check the bar. If you scroll all the way down again, you can check. Should be. Oh, never mind. I used the one in the inventory first. Well, so now you have to look at his backpack. I think it has 5 uses. Don't quote me on that. 6, damn. Okay. Guess if you have shallow breast like this guy. No. Okay. All right. So this guy is well, he got 6. He definitely got more than 4 out of it because that's the time you overdose. All right,
Okay.
Meki, we're just gonna check if you have a pulse. All right, he's got a heart rate of 39. I'm just gonna give him some epinephrine just for the balls, and then try
His
to
heart
slap
rate
him back
shows up as 83 for me. Oh, who has a heart rate? Oh, that guy, Meki. Oh no. Why did everyone give it to him?
No, he just took it 6 times himself.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna look at one other item, which is Narcan or naloxone. It's naloxone. It will clear, or it will treat morphine, fentanyl, and nalbuphine overdose.
Okay.
I think that's the exact. I don't think it will do anything else. So I think Penthrox won't change the effect, and definitely not of the other ones. Right now, Penthrox is 5 minutes, so I don't think there's anything we can do to counter it, really. We could try to just jack up his like vitals by using
Epinephrine.
other medication, and then try to get him back up. But I'm going to do suction, 5 seconds, and then you can apply a King LT. Apply it now.
Shit. What? Oh, King LT applying.
Yep. Gonna check his pulse one more time. Right, his heart rate is at 59. His blood pressure should be pretty high.
Should I?
Oh no, it's not. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the blood pressure is normal. So either the effect of the naloxone, the thing is going down. So what we can give him is we can give him another medication. So now we go into the ones that mainly increase the blood pressure or decrease it, which is norepinephrine and nitroglycerin, and also phenylephrine. So what
to
we can
increase
do
the blood
now is we
pressure?
want to, we want to increase the heart rate and increase the blood pressure. And so what we can give is give norepinephrine. So look for norepinephrine.
Push norepinephrine. Okay.
Yep, just push norepinephrine.
That increases his heart rate, right?
Pulse and heart, the blood pressure and heart rate. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, norepinephrine lasts for 6 minutes, so it will be better than just giving epi, because that one, we said it only lasts for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Now we could just spam him with epi; it would probably be fine. And then we'll just check the pulse. In this case, there's a way of finding out the exact values that this will add, but you can also just wait a little bit and figure it out. All right, so now that we have the blood pressure is going up pretty high, and he just woke up on his own. Sweet.
Okay. Nice.
Yep.
Just heart rate 73. Okay, it's a little low, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What next?
All right. Okay. So yeah, we've also now treated an overdose. It's a little bit crafty sometimes how to deal with it. Oftentimes it's just a combination of spamming the right amount of epinephrine, but you
Okay.
can do it more systematically. Right. Okay. So that was the painkillers. We've got to that one. Right. Okay. So now let's go back to the inventory and look at the different drugs we're gonna find there. And it's
Backpack?
perfect because amiodarone, backpack. And so we're gonna go to amiodarone. A for amiodarone. Alright, did you find it?
No. Amiodarone found it.
Yeah,
Okay.
amiodarone. It's like a so this is used to combat cardiac arrest. Now, amiodarone increases the AED chance by 20%, up to 20%, between 8 and 20%. And in general, I would advise you to, if you want to know more, you just Control F in the document if you have the guide open. And so amiodarone.
How do I open the guide? Is that in game?
No, it's a document. It's you just look for either on the Discord or just I think if you type in CAM official guide, so KAM official guide, it might lead you directly to the Google Doc. Let me check.
Okay.
Official
I'll do that some other
guide. Otherwise, it will go to link you to the Steam community page, and then that will have a link to the official guide most likely.
Okay. Cool beans.
There's multiple ways to find it. Yep. Okay, so amiodarone is also used when treating, or before shocking, when treating shockable rhythms. So, and that's mainly because, you're not going to shock if they're on PA or if they have no heart rate. But yeah, so amiodarone, epinephrine, and lidocaine, they all have the ability to increase the AED success chance, meaning that you can also AED, the shocking.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. So amiodarone and lidocaine, they both help with that.
Okay.
Now, lidocaine has a different use as well, but yeah, it increases the chance by 8%, amiodarone up to 20, but at least 8%. And lidocaine also suppresses pain. It's also one of these, also one of the painkillers.
Okay.
So yeah, that's amiodarone and lidocaine. That's why I give them together, because they're both used for treating, or for being used when you use the AD or ADX.
Okay.
So the guide tells you that you're supposed to rotate. So you give one epinephrine, one amiodarone, and then one lidocaine every time you charge and give. So amiodarone has a maximum dose of 4, and lidocaine has a maximum dose of 2.
Within how much time? Period.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Lidocaine
okay.
is 2 minutes. Amiodarone is also 2 minutes.
Okay.
So in general, you need to watch out with lidocaine. So if you do more than 2 rotations of all drugs, you probably, I mean, you might have passed the time already, but keep that in mind.
Okay.
You can use amiodarone twice, maybe sometimes, but yeah, that's just one thing to consider.
Okay. Lidocaine. I'm trying to find it. Where is lidocaine?
Okay, amiodarone has a side effect. It has a 1/3 chance to cause what's called bradycardia.
Okay.
Bradycardia is just the heart rate drops by 40 beats per minute within 2 minutes and lasts for up to 20 minutes.
Oh
That's
shit.
the definition for bradycardia. And so this could be 40 BPM dropping is no easy thing. Like, this could knock someone out again if they regain consciousness. So the way we treat bradycardia is by giving atropine.
Okay.
That's actually, funny enough, the next one. That's why I like that they're close to each other. So atropine treats bradycardia, and if we have chemical shit enabled, which we never will on the server, as far as I know, because it will clash with the hearts and minds system for chemical stuff, I believe. Atropine will also like deal with it, but yeah, mostly it's
Okay.
just used for treating bradycardia.
Atropine?
I would say, statistically speaking, carry 1/3 of amiodarone. Like, if you have 10 amiodarone, you need to carry at least 3, or well, maybe even at least 4 atropine. Statistically speaking.
Okay.
So if you could just every 1/3. So 3.3 out of your 10 amiodarone will cause bradycardia on average.
And then you use lidocaine to treat that.
Atropine.
Atropine. Okay. Okay. I can't find
Lidocaine
it.
is,
I can't find it. I want to see it visually to put it in my memory. I can't even find the. Oh, there's the amiodarone. Atropine auto injector. Found it. Okay, now I can probably have a
Yeah,
better
you found
chance
it?
of
Okay.
remembering this.
I'm just going from the top up. Okay, just go to the top of the inventory. If I do something else, I'll say it. But yeah,
Okay.
we're going from the top up.
Top down. You
All right,
mean?
so we're past. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, from the top down. Okay, so we've got the auto injector for this. Then we have blood that we've also seen. Body bags we've also seen on the server. Now the bone
BBM.
plates, which brings me to the next cool thing. There is surgery in this mod.
Oh, okay.
So for now, we're just going to look at all the surgery items. So I'm just going to skip around a little bit. So the bone plate can be used to treat certain fractures.
Okay.
There's a surgery guide if ever you forget which one you need.
Okay.
But let's say we have a complex fracture. There's 2 types that we can find. So one is the comminuted fracture.
Sorry
And that's
to
what the
butt
guy
in
has.
on that. Sorry to butt in.
Yeah.
Just so you know, there's a cat thing is in general and
Yeah.
video chat.
Yeah. Good thing I'll also tell them. So as Meki was just pointing out, the server itself also has a cat medical guide where like a lot of the things are put in. I think it's under the Arma 3 section, right?
Okay. Cool.
I'll check right quick. 1 second.
No, but I put the guide, the Google Doc guide in voice chat and in general.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
reason why I don't use it is it has almost everything we need except for the rhythms, because the rhythms, I think Ted was under the impression that he disabled them, but you actually cannot disable them as far as I know. You'd have to disable. Let me check. Yeah, you'd have to disable the whole advanced rhythm thing, and he only disabled hardcore rhythms, which is something totally different. So that one is not in the guide, and that's why I'm using the. For now, I will refer to the actual official guide because it has everything in there. Okay, so back to the fracture surgery, everything. Okay, click on one of his legs. It doesn't matter right now. Actually, let's choose the right leg so we both have the same one.
Okay.
This poor Shakespeare guy is currently, conscious, right?
Yeah.
And per settings, some of these actions will require anesthesia to be done.
Okay.
So right now we could perform an incision, and that would probably cause a lot of pain. I haven't tested it, but I'm just going to assume it's going to cause a lot of pain. And so to do a complete surgery procedure, it's easiest done with 2 people, but it could also be done by 1.
Okay.
And so there are a couple of drugs that you need. For example, to sedate someone, you will give lorazepam.
Lorazepam.
Maybe you've heard of lorazepam.
Let me try to look for it in
Lorazepam.
the. I need to see the word so I can memorize it. Where can I see it? I need
Okay.
to see this word.
It's alphabetically in the. Just go to
L.
the backpack and then is there.
Lorazepam.
You
Okay.
just make a new AV.
Lorazepam. Lidocaine.
Oh, actually, we skipped one item. The fast IO. Go ahead, go in the chest, and then establish a fast IO. In the meantime, I'm
Okay.
gonna make it daytime again.
Chest. Medication? No. Where the respiration?
So the chest advanced.
Chest advanced. Establish fast IO. That is a hole in the neck for the breathing to happen if there is an obstruction, right?
No. The fast IO is actually not very fast. It's actually much slower, I think. So I can show you a video afterwards of how when it's applied. It does not look very nice. Basically, what you do is you push like a very big needle into your sternum,
Okay.
and then you basically
Inject right into
do
the heart.
it's basically an intraosseous needle. So like we have the intravenous, 16 gauge. So 16 gauge IV, which is
16
intravenous,
gauge. Okay.
and then we have the intraosseous needle. So it's an IO,
Okay.
I guess. Yeah. So IO needle, and then in this case, this one will go right into the chest, and it's pretty painful. I guess it's just
Okay.
overshadowed by the fact that he has 2 broken legs.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So for that is also just something that if all the limbs are tourniquet, have a tourniquet on them, you will not be able to give like a regular IV. You need to use
Oh.
this one.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's why we have it.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Even though it says fast IO or fast 1, it isn't actually.
And what is
fast
this
when you
called in
apply
the
it, 'cause
inventory? What is it called?
I think it's called fast IO. Let me check.
Oh yeah, found it. Fast IO.
Fast
Yeah.
IO. Yep.
Looks like a motor.
So you can't really see it, but like the tip there, those are like 11 or 12 different needles,
Ooh.
and then you have like one
Jesus
big one in the
Christ.
center. It's yeah.
Fuck me. I don't want to see that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's just an IO. Okay. So now I'm just gonna walk you through the procedure first, and then we're gonna perform it together. Okay.
Okay. So what are the?
So
what
the
is
procedure involves the
anesthesia?
following items.
Okay. Cool.
The surgery involves the following items. So first, we will start by sedating the patient,
Okay.
and then we're gonna put them into anesthesia. So anesthesia is
Okay.
different from sedation.
Okay.
And so when someone is unconscious, we will basically the lorazepam knocks them out first. We will make sure that they have like a King LT in, so they can breathe again, and then we're going to perform anesthesia. So anesthesia is like different than sedation for cat medical purposes.
Okay.
And so some of these items, like basically you cannot perform some of these items if they're not under anesthesia.
Okay.
Right, so the anesthesia item that we're going to use, it's called etomidate. You can actually go to the chest that has the etomidate, and if you go to the surgery tab, which is like I don't know what it's supposed to resemble. I don't know what it's supposed to resemble.
The
But
surgery
it's like
tab
right next to
looks
the
like
yeah.
Looks like
And then we have to
yeah.
push blah blah blah, push etomidate, push lorazepam, push flumazenil. So
So lorazepam sedates them, right?
Yeah.
Or okay, lorazepam sedates, and then once they're sedated, we push etomidate to put them under anesthesia. Okay.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
And then we can do our surgery.
What is
So now another very
flumazenil?
important thing is flumazenil is what basically removes the sedation.
Removes the sedation. Okay, gotcha. And the anesthesia.
No, for the anesthesia we just stop giving etomidate. Now the important
Okay.
thing is that an etomidate needs to be reapplied every 35 seconds.
Oh shit. Okay. Or else they'll wake
So
up.
etomidate. Yeah. So I'll just quickly go to the explanation for etomidate. Etomidate is here. So never mind. Okay, it doesn't actually explain it here, but it should explain it somewhere. Yeah. Okay. So it's good to know how long some of these procedures take. So an incision, for example, takes 10 seconds, and then that's first thing we need to do is we need to make an incision to like basically have access to the fracture. And then we will need to expose the fracture by retracting the wound that we just made, like the incision.
Okay. So.
So we retract it so we have better eyes on it.
Okay.
And then there's two types of fractures. There's a compound fracture, and then there's a comminuted fracture.
Okay.
The comminuted one needs a clamp, and the compound one needs a exactly 250 milliliter bag of saline. So don't give these away. You will need them for surgery.
Okay.
So yeah, the 250 milliliter bags of saline. So again, first incision, then exposing.
Could you give me
then we
more
will-
whys as to why these things are needed? Like why do we need a clamp? Is there an artery that's cut or some shit?
No, so we're clamping. I think so. I need to actually look at what comminuted means. I think it's just like, I think it is. Let me check here. I
And
think
then how
it's
do we
like-
diagnose what type of fracture that is?
So, that one we are able to just diagnose that by clicking on the leg and then examine patient,
Examine.
and then there's a check fracture button.
Check fracture. Okay. I'll do that.
Yep.
Fracture.
So
present.
we have a comminuted fracture present on right leg.
What? I don't see that.
And so
Where?
so a comminuted fracture, from what I'm seeing here,
Oh.
is
okay.
it has there's bone fragments.
Oh, okay.
So I guess we're using a clamp to put them in the. I don't know, bro. This
Alright.
is again, this is chemical. Don't worry too much about it.
Okay.
It is reality and cat medical
Not
are
same
not
thing.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the same thing. That's why we don't use it, either direction. All right. So this is basically this is basically a step that's called open reduction is the last one for both. And open reduction will will use a bone plate. So if you look back into our inventory, I'm just going to tell you all the items that we need. So first thing is bone plate.
Bone plate. Got
Every
3 of
complex
those.
fracture will use a bone plate.
Okay.
Now, if we go further down, we have the clamp.
Okay. Here's the
The
clamp.
clamp is only needed for comminuted fractures.
Okay. Comminuted fractures.
Yeah, comminuted fracture.
All right.
So then the other item that we need is the retractor. So that's under pretty much at the bottom.
Retractor. There we go. Yeah.
So the retractor is used to expand and expose a fracture. And then we have the scalpel. The scalpel is used to make the incision initially.
Scalpel. Okay.
Yeah.
Do these things are these things consumable or?
Yeah, these are consumable. I think we
Oh,
can
okay.
turn this on or off, but I think it said so the scalpel consumes. It's like make one cut, throw it away.
Yeah, it's
type
for
of deal.
sanitation reasons.
I guess. I hope so. We're very worried about sanitation in this raining field.
Yeah.
Like the scalpel is where we draw the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's also configuration if you cannot even do this anywhere. This is quite lenient where you can just do it anywhere, which is not necessarily for every server. Okay. All right. So let's try to brief it
Okay.
again. What we're gonna do.
Okay.
So first things first, we're gonna make lorazepam etomidate.
Oh.
So now
okay.
etomidate. This is the important thing. Etomidate needs to be reapplied every 35 seconds. And this is something I will teach you how to check because this is configurable, and it can be more or less hardcore, I guess.
Okay.
So you go into configure,
Configure.
add-on options. Yeah. So escape, configure, add-on options.
Add-on options.
Then you go to scroll down to
Okay.
CAT, advanced, and then medical, and then surgery.
Advanced medical.
A little lower. So
Surgery.
Yeah, that one. So surgery, go to that one. Then we scroll down, go to make sure that your CBA tab is set to server in the top left corner. You can choose between client, mission, and server. We want to set it to server. And it will show what you will have applied from the server.
Okay.
All right, we scroll. Let's check. We'll scroll somewhere roughly in the middle. A little bit above the middle, actually. And then it says the surgical actions settings. And that one says the automated cycle timer.
Cycle timer. 45
The
seconds.
automated
here.
cycle timer, and this is 45 seconds.
Okay.
So that means that if we add all the things together, we will probably need to use 2 automates. So either you set a timer or you just count with the timer. Like you can either set the timer from the phone or whatever,
Yeah, I'll just use a
or you
phone.
have someone that's dedicated. So what I'll do is for this time I'll keep track of the automate cycle, and next time you'll do it. Okay.
I'll do it now. I got my phone right here.
All right.
Ready with the stopwatch. All right. So medical
Okay.
medical menu
Then again. Yep. All right. So you're gonna
Alright.
start by giving lorazepam.
in the chest IO, right?
Yeah, in the chest. Yep.
Okay. What is it called?
It needs to be in the surgery tab.
Lorazepam.
Those medications are
Oh,
only
oh.
but it's only in the surgery tab.
Okay, lorazepam is the
Lorazepam?
sedative. Okay. Push
Sedative,
lorazepam,
yep.
sedative.
Right.
It'll knock him out. Okay, and then it.
All right. I'm gonna give it
push
a KLT.
etomidate. Oh, what? I'm pushing etomidate? I did. I
Alright.
did already.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Start the timer.
Yep, timer started.
All right. So now we're gonna make sure this guy can actually has the airways clear. We don't want that to be an issue.
Okay.
Got suction in because they're already occluded in that short second. All right. Now we've got that. Now someone else could also do breathing for them.
Okay.
But we still have breaths right now. All right. So automate is started
25 seconds.
and 25 seconds. All right. So first things first, we're going to perform an incision, which will take 10 seconds.
You'll do that or I'll do that?
I'll do that for now. We're going to
Okay.
do it on the second one.
All right, performance.
So you just monitor the vitals, you monitor the timer.
All right, I'm going to have to push it to etomidate again pretty soon.
Yeah, just go to the chest. You need to be on the chest, you're on the leg right now.
All right, 50 seconds,
Yep, and then
etomidate.
All right.
Stop, reset, start. All right.
Okay. All right, so I did an incision. Now the second part is I will expose the fracture with the retractor.
Okay.
Once I've exposed the fracture, since it's a comminuted fracture, I will do a clamping.
Okay.
Now it's important to see that that if you can actually still do the wrong action, this will not tell you which one you need to use. So sometimes Cat Medical only shows the valid ones, and this time it shows you both. All right, so I've
Okay.
clamped the fracture. Now after I've clamped the fracture, I can do an open
38 seconds.
reduction.
I'll push another
Yep,
etomidate.
start giving another one. Yep, takes 4 to 5 seconds. Rejected.
All right. Pushing etomidate.
All right.
Starting
So
clock.
now you see that I've clamped the fracture. All right, so I'm gonna
Okay.
take over. Give me the timer.
Okay, it's 8 seconds.
All right, starting
10
now.
seconds.
And now you're gonna do the next frame. Now I'll keep track of the automate for you.
Okay. Now we're doing the next
And
one.
what you will do now is you will do the same procedure for the left leg. So
Okay.
first things first.
Perform incision.
What do you think you need? Do you remember what you need to do? Yep.
Perform incision.
Perform incision. Perfect. Yep.
Now, since this is a communis something fracture, clamp the fracture. Clamp fracture. Oh shit, exposed fracture first. I clamped it first. Fuck.
Yeah, you can just abort it by pressing escape. and
Okay,
then-
good thing. Good thing. Okay. So, exposed fracture. And how do I know the fracture is exposed? Is there any indication?
It will say polar whisper
Expose
exposed
the
to
fracture,
fracture on the
okay.
left leg.
Clamp fracture. And then irrigate wound. What? Oh, I'll cover that later. Okay.
Yeah, the irrigating's only for
We're at 1 minute
compound
6
fractures.
for the timer.
No, I got it. I already.
Okay,
I've
okay.
already given. I've already,
All
you
right.
can- you don't need to
Fracture is
worry about it.
clamped. Perform open reduction.
Yep.
What's open reduction? Closing the wound up?
That is basically the step where you use a bone plate to
Oh,
put
okay.
together.
Perform open reduction. Okay.
think of yep.
Man, this is hard to do alone. Holy shit.
All right.
Alright.
Now we're gonna stop giving. We're still good.
Any
now we're gonna push
stitching?
flumazenil.
Any stitching we need to do?
Go ahead. No, just push flumazenil.
Okay. Push for Mazinol.
It's in the surgery tab as well.
Oh, surgery. Okay. Push flumazenil. Okay. Flumazenil.
Yep. All right. Just short before
That wakes
the
him up.
next automated cycle.
Flumazenil wakes
Right,
him
no,
up.
not yet. So now,
What is-
we'll just stop the sedation.
Ah, okay.
So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the blood pressure. It's pretty high. But we can also remove the tourniquet now,
Okay.
and you can give him low. So if you look at the heart rate, it's pretty high. Blood pressure is rising. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna probably look at lowering those two,
Okay.
or either of the two.
Pulse is high.
Um,
I don't remember.
so what I would
we
just do
used
is
to
give
lower.
adenosine.
Adenosine. Man, I'm gonna have to watch this video so many times over and over again to memorize all these medications. Shit.
So while you could use stuff like morphine or fentanyl, whatever, to decrease the heart rate and decrease the blood pressure, it's
Those
not
things are too
advised to use.
extreme.
Yeah.
What did you just use? Adenosine?
I said adenosine. Yeah.
Adenosine, okay.
Yep.
Okay. What now?
We wait. Now we wait.
We wait for the blood pressure to normalize, okay.
I want to see if they actually have the automated side effect on that, because I don't know if I read this on the Discord or. That's weird. I'm pretty sure they explained somewhere what happens if you don't give etomidate enough. Um, oh, you didn't actually give the adenosine. It's not
I didn't
showing
do
for
that,
me.
no, yeah, no, I thought you were doing that.
Okay. Oh, all right. I'll check it.
Medication, okay.
Let me see if it's on their Discord. That's a bit weird.
Okay, it's dropping. Heart rate's dropping. 15. Man, it's so annoying that it's blinking. Why is it blinking, man? It'd be so much easier to notice a change if you just saw it still and then something changed. Okay, 108 from 115. Heart rate's still lowering. And then the blood pressure, high as fuck. Holy shitballs.
It was at 192, so. I'll push a second dose of adenosine. Now we could just start using what's it called? Reorientation or that, and just like, because it's not gonna like completely lock out the chance. So we could just start now. There we go.
Okay.
Patient book up.
What did you give him?
Now,
Adenosine.
The problem is, I guess, because the patient is probably in severe pain. I could have thought of that.
How did you?
but I
Oh, you
wasn't
just
quite
slapped him. Okay.
Yeah, I just slept. And since we gave adenosine, you know, right. So he's in severe pain. He's got no blood loss. What would you recommend as a medication for this severe pain?
Severe pain, no blood loss. I mean, I feel like fentanyl.
Yep, push it.
Okay. In the IO, right? Fentanyl. Pushing
Mhm, yep.
fentanyl.
And we can also see the effects of it and see how much it drops.
Okay. So I'll just watch the top right side, the severe pain go down, right?
Yeah, that one will go down pretty fast.
Okay.
And now the adenosine also stopped working.
In pain.
So like everything's going back up. And now that that stops working, as we give the pain medication, will pretty much tank the vitals really low.
Okay.
My guess is probably with fentanyl, I think once it takes effect, maybe
No pain.
like
Done with
lowest it
pain.
might is 45. Yeah, the pain's gone, but like
but the
you know,
blood,
see the heart rate
the
is
heart rate is low. Uh
Yep.
oh.
right. So
Yeah.
this is always what you need to consider. Like it's
Oh, but it's going back
fentanyl
up.
is
It's going back up.
strong. Yeah, it's going back up because I think the adenosine was still in the cycle.
Oh. Okay. So that's gonna go down
Yeah.
further.
It was still in there, but it slowly lifted up, so that's probably why it's now going back down. So yeah, so fentanyl, that's why you should not give such a strong opioid whenever someone is already on blood loss, because this will just exacerbate the blood pressure issue.
Ah, okay, but they have no blood loss. That was fine here because okay,
Yep,
no blood
exactly.
loss, severe pain, fentanyl.
Yep.
How high does pain go?
Alright,
Is there
so
extreme pain, or is severe pain
Severe
high?
pain, and I am not quite. There's one thing that I'm not quite sure, because I think this also works together somehow with Ace Medical, or maybe not. That's like a BMO question.
Okay.
But I know that it can go pretty high. Like let's say you have 4 broken arms, 2 broken arms, 2 broken legs. It's like everything, like many wounds. I think like even if you have wounds that are stitched, I think they still contribute to pain.
Okay.
That's my understanding. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So let's look at a couple more items. The last items. I think we've almost looked at everything. So
Items in the inventory, right?
there's an. Yeah, we're going back to the inventory. We're going to E for EACA.
EACA.
Yep.
If you're looking at it right now.
Yep.
Encourages clot formation. What is the other
Yep,
drug
I'm
that
gonna
does that?
Push this guy. TXA.
TXA.
I'm gonna shoot this
okay.
guy in the chest. Then we're gonna see it's a medium velocity wound on the chest,
Okay.
and so he has a moderate bleeding. Now you're gonna go to the medications tab and push TXA and EACA.
Okay, both of them. Okay. Moderate bleeding. TXA. Oh, they're at the top. Okay. TXA.
Mm-hmm.
EACA.
Yep.
I believe just
So
TXA alone stopped the
TX
bleeding.
So TXA stops the bleeding and bandages it, and then EACA stitches it with the settings that we have.
Oh, okay.
Now again, if you have more complex clotting settings enabled, then this will not be the same effect.
Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, this is something, again, Cat Medical is very configurable.
Gotcha.
Said it multiple times, and I will say it again. Right. So that is EACA. It basically is the pendant to TXA just for stitching.
So okay. So EACA is always just stitching. Okay.
Yep.
So I could do that
Like
to
if
any
there's
wound.
nothing to be stitched. Yeah, if you give EACA, if someone has like a lot of if you just don't want to stitch for 60 seconds, you just push EACA and send them on their journey. Just tell them to make sure.
Wait,
everything's
stitching is different
bandaged.
from EACA?
No, yeah. So EACA is what you can do for
It's a drug.
for like giving stitches chemically.
Ah,
You
okay.
know? But then you can also use
Okay.
the surgical kit.
Gotcha. Surgical kit. Okay.
Okay. Have you done medical and ACE? Like regular ACE medical?
Very
pharmacy?
little.
Karmika?
No. Don't know it.
Alright, here's something. This is something that is actually kind of a new item for me too. So I'm just gonna try this. I think how we're gonna do this. Ultrasound. I think the ultrasound can be used by anyone. Let me get the
Give me a second. I'm just gonna drink a little water. Be right back.
right. I'll just do this while you're away. Oh wow. I didn't know we're going to do.
Ouch. I think I'm stuck in the tent.
I think it has a door.
I don't see the.
All right. Tell me if you want to get out, but we're just going to continue this for in the tent for a little bit,
Okay.
because I want to show something. All right. So what I'm thinking is there's a compact ultrasound, handheld ultrasound thingy we can use. I want to figure out what it can do this. Sweet.
Oh, where am I?
In the tent.
Okay.
I just gave us a tent. Right, so there's another item that's new since the last update, which is the handheld ultrasound device. So you can only use this in medical facilities or vehicles right now. So that's why I put us into a medical tent.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So what you can do is you click on the chest and you go to the surgery tab again,
Okay.
and then it says conduct ultrasound assessment.
Conduct ultrasound assessment.
So right now, there's basically nothing really that is there to do. However, let me just. Yeah. So I think once you do that, it's called. I think what you do is you basically someone basically enters the image state.
What? The image state?
But-
What's that?
Imaged state. I think that's the description that they used when they explain it. So what it does basically, it means there's like an item that you can use only when you do that. But more interesting, if someone has a tension pneumothorax, for example, go do the ultrasound assessment again. I'm just gonna
Ultrasound.
put a chest seal on, and you can do the ultrasound assessment
Let me know when.
anytime.
Okay, performing ultrasound assessment.
You can do this while I do the chest seal. So what we can do with the ultrasound is we can actually figure out what they have. So airway status is normal, cardiac status is normal, and lung status is a tension pneumothorax. You remember what item we use for a tension pneumothorax?
For tension pneumothorax, we use a needle decompression.
Yep.
Doing that
Go
now?
ahead and do it.
Okay, do that.
Yep.
Doing it.
I'll give this poor guy some painkillers.
Okay, done. And what do I do? How to check breathing? Check breathing, right?
Mhm.
Okay, checking
Yep.
breathing.
This is also good because we cannot actually check the chest right now, which is usually what we do it.
Why
But
can't
the
we
breathing
check
is
the chest?
normal.
Breathing
Because
is
it's
normal.
apparently conscious, and for some reason you cannot check the chest while they're conscious.
Okay.
Don't ask me why.
But if they were unconscious, what would it be? Check what?
Then it would be chest. I think it would be inspect chest. Then it would say chest lifts uneven or something like that. Chest sides uneven. I think
Okay.
if you have a tension pneumothorax.
Okay.
So yeah. All right. So that was the handheld ultrasound. Now another thing that's kind of cool, but I think I will have to add this to inventory real quick.
Okay.
Which is the Reboa unit. Okay. Okay. All right. So now, go to the medical menu again. Go to the surgery tab.
Surgery tab. Okay. Pericardial tap.
Oh no. Go to the leg. Actually, go to the
Leg.
leg. Maybe you need to do it on the leg.
Place Reboa
Yeah.
unit. What's
Yeah.
that?
Yep. Do that.
What is a Reboa unit?
So a Reboa unit it has like a cool funky funky name, but basically we'll tie off the artery that leads to the. I think it's the artery that leads to the legs.
Ah, the
Right,
main
so
artery.
reboa is placed. Now we need to advance the reboa unit.
Advanced Reboa unit? What the
Yep.
fuck?
Yep.
What does
Advanced
that
reboa
mean?
unit. So it's basically placed, and now we need to advance it to the point where it actually blocks off the blood flow to the legs.
Oh, okay.
And so right now, I'm gonna do something funky. I'm gonna shoot this guy's legs. And now look at the bleeding. You see how severe the bleeding is?
There's no bleeding at all.
Yep.
Oh,
right.
it's
Now advance
better.
the reboa unit.
And it doesn't cause pain.
Advance the reboa unit.
Advanced Reboa unit? Further? It's already
Further.
advanced.
Yeah. But now we can advance it even further. It's gonna fucking be crazy.
He's gonna lose the leg.
All right. No. Funnier. You see the chest?
Just what? The
We're
fuck?
not bleeding from the chest either.
What the fuck? That's just a video game flaw, right?
So let's now we conduct the ultrasound assessment.
Holy shit.
Okay. How do you do that? Surgery.
Surgery,
conduct ultrasound
chest. Yeah, yeah. Conduct an ultrasound assessment. Now this is a case for TXA. I'm just saying. I'm just going to start pushing TXA. But yeah. So what does it say? Right. Okay. It doesn't say anything. That's good. Okay.
Good.
But no, it doesn't say anything. So, but I think so. From what I know is you need to use the ultrasound to use the reboa unit.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yep. Right, 3 times TXA is in. Let's see how long it takes for it to do everything here. Now, also good to remember that like ECHA, the one that does surgery, you can actually stick up to 10. Like it's ECHA is like, you know, you can give way more. But I'm just giving the same one as I give to TXA. So the other thing that's important, now that we've given the reboa, we actually need to take the reboa out again. The reason for that is that if there's no blood flow to it, then we can't get any medication. So go ahead and retract the reboa unit.
Okay. Retracting Reboa unit.
Okay, go to the leg.
Leg. Okay. Leg. Remove Reboa unit.
Remove reboa unit.
Okay.
Yep.
So when we advance the Reboa unit,
Look at the massive bleeding.
massive bleeding. Oh,
Alright.
okay. He's just instant.
Oh, okay, that's a problem.
Yeah, so this would be... Okay, now, but I'm gonna still see if the TXA does its shit. Because, like, sometimes I have the feeling that TXA, whenever, like, you cut off the blood flow, sometimes it just doesn't want to do... Yeah, this guy's gonna be dead.
Okay.
Do me a favor, put a tourniquet on his leg real quick.
Okay.
Can I do it? Applying to
Okay, I'm fucked.
Oh, I'm applying a
Yeah,
tourniquet
you see how
too.
fast I can bleed out, you know, once I do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
the other leg. Apply
No,
to
it's
the-
fine, dude.
Yeah,
There's
he's
nothing
dead.
you can do.
He's dead already.
Oh no.
It's called exsanguination,
By the way-
I think, or something like that.
By the way, what's the
Um,
normal breaths per minute?
Exsanguination? Fuck. Sorry, what? Normal breaths per minute?
Yeah. What's the average? What's a good number for that?
Let me check. I think it's like 13 or something, but I will check.
13. Okay.
Can we revive this guy?
No, he's
Alright,
dead.
okay, so if a patient is receiving CPR, blah, 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 default conditions. Respiratory rate starts at 16. Rate increases by 1 per page E lost, which we don't have. And rate increases by 1 per 200 milliliters of blood loss.
Okay.
So this would be like, so, okay. So from what I know is the ETCO2. So it stands for end tidal CO2. Is basically what you exhale, and there's like a couple of things that influence it. So if you have no ETCO2, it means you're probably not breathing. I think.
Okay. Hold on. Let me just shut my fan off. It's so cold. Hold on. Okay, I'm back.
So you can use the ETCO2 like to diagnose a couple of things. So blocked airways. If the airways are blocked, it increases the ETCO2 dramatically, so up to 50.
ETCO2. Okay.
That's the yeah.
Yeah.
If you have blood loss, it will decrease by 4 for every 500 milliliters of blood lost to a minimum of 14.
Breaths per minute.
No, ETCO2 is just like a
ETCO2.
pressure.
Mm.
The default is around 40.
Default's
So
40.
if someone is like if someone is sitting at like let's say 20 ETCO2, for example,
Okay.
then there's probably some issues. So 22 is actually if you have like thoracic injuries,
Mm-hmm.
then you'll have around 22. If a pneumothorax sits around 37, then there's like severity issues of it that will multiply. Like it's not as easy. In general, it should be around 40
Mm-hmm.
in regular environments. I'm just gonna quickly move this 10 so we can actually walk away.
Okay.
All right. Right, for the server's sake, we're gonna have to actually put this guy in a body bag as well.
Okay. So we're done, huh?
Basically.
Oh, you
what
just need to
happened this
explain to
guy?
me
Well,
the various bandages for various injuries.
Right, we kind of went over that. Right,
Oh, you did it. Yeah, you didn't good enough on that. Yeah. Because I remember in my old unit.
Bandage.
I remember in my old unit, I don't remember anything from it, but I do remember that they were like, for a large avulsion, you need to use this kind of bandage. For like a velocity
Yeah,
wound, you need
so
to use that kind of bandage.
I will say that some have like better efficiencies or whatever, but it's like this is like hidden in the code. And there has been a document that there's like an image that floats around and nobody knows if this is still accurate. Probably is, but you don't know. So it's like I can't tell you. There's some pictures for that you can look up.
Okay.
I will continue to play like I do with the.
I remember what you said. Packing
it called?
bandages for the most part, but they do.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, so we're done, huh?
Yeah, let me look at. There's probably something I've forgotten. We'll look at the rest of the inventory real quick.
Okay.
Right, so epinephrine has an IV form.
Really?
So epinephrine can be given as the auto-injector, but as you will see, my kit only includes 2. Because I assume as a medic I will set an IV usually when I need epinephrine.
Uh-huh.
And so the auto-injector is actually just for if I go down, because not everyone can do IVs usually. I think
Okay.
on the server it actually does, but don't quote me on that one. I will just keep an epinephrine auto-injector in case that is the thing.
Okay.
Right. So that's why we have IV epinephrine. It also is considerably less heavy. So you can carry, I think, 5 IV epinephrine for every auto-injector.
Oh, but you didn't teach me how to stitch.
Oh, do you not know?
I don't know. No.
Okay, so yeah, let's do that real quick. With that one, we can do
Is that a
Ooh.
surgery thing?
again here. So where is Shakespeare here? Boom. All right. So the arm is broken too. Sweet. All right, we have a medium velocity wound. I'm just going to quickly use an elastic bandage because we're going to stitch soon.
Okay.
For that, you'll click on the arm, go to advanced treatments. Oh, someone has their.
Advanced
Ooh, okay.
treatment.
You go to the advanced treatments and then you say use surgical kit.
Use surgical kit. Oh, okay. Full body? It does it to the whole body or
No.
that part?
So yeah, it will do it to the full body. We'll just like do all at once, so you don't need to click to every body part because you will otherwise have to.
Okay, gotcha. Right, so everything's been
Right.
stitched,
Another way to
everything-
deal. Yeah, I forgot something else. So another way to deal with a fracture temporarily is to apply a splint.
Okay.
A splint basically immobilizes the fracture, but as you'll see, we can still use the arm. And if we immobilize a splint on the leg, immobilize a fracture with a splint on the leg, depending on server settings, you can still jog with it.
Okay.
You can also set it so you can only limp. So that depends on the configuration again.
Okay. And trauma, what's minor trauma? Like, just...
So the trauma
problem.
settings, what it says about trauma, I think it's just tied to the level of like basically the shade of blue, kind of indicates how many injuries there are.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think, and then also I think that will be like tied into calculating pain. Because
Okay.
right now, we don't have there's nothing bleeding, but we're still in pain, right? And this pain will
Yeah.
persist for how long we have this trauma present.
Yeah.
Now, right, that's the other thing. So if you're around a medical facility, There is an item that's called a personal aid kit. So my kit here carries 2, but you will need more. It's just they're heavy, 1 pound per piece.
Oh,
If
okay.
we are inside a medical facility, so I'm gonna just do this real quick. We're back in the tent. What I can do if we're in like a medical vehicle.
Oh, you moved the
or-
tent to us. How do I get
Yeah,
in?
yeah. 'Cause there's no entrance. Wait, how the fuck did you just go out of it?
I moved. I was gonna go into the tent.
Right.
Okay, there we go.
I'll just move the tent. If the mountain.
How do you get
Move the-
into
move
this
the
thing
map.
then?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you just walk out. Who knows?
Okay.
Who
Anyway.
knows?
You don't walk out.
Maybe
I tried
you
running.
phase through it by pressing. Let me check.
No,
No,
didn't work.
Mm,
Who knows? All right. So now we're just going to go to like the character that I'm controlling right now.
Okay.
My actual character, the training dummy.
Okay.
And then you click on anywhere. As long as it lost some blood and have no currently bleeding wound, you can use the personal aid kit.
At the advanced treatments. Okay, use personal
Advanced
aid
treatments,
kit.
yep. Right. So that one, in this stage, will probably take 10 seconds, yep.
Ooh,
The more injuries they have, I think it takes more. But like
Okay.
the longest I've seen was 60 seconds.
phasing
okay.
successful.
All right.
So the personal aid kit is basically a reset.
Okay. All right.
There's another
cool.
item called the NPWT,
Okay.
which is like some.
Look in my
I think
inventory.
you use it per. I think you use it per limb.
Per
But I
limb.
don't use it.
What's it
I'm not-
called?
It might not even be enabled. NPWT,
NPWT.
the pressure dressing. Yeah, I think it's basically the clearing the trauma from one part of the body at a time. It's kind of annoying to use. Takes a lot of time, and so I guess it's also surgery. I think.
Okay.
So yeah, nobody that I've known uses it, but I think it's interesting. More involved than a personal aid kit, definitely.
Okay.
Okay, so I will just talk about there's a couple of things that I haven't talked about yet, which is mentioning all the drugs that that raise blood pressure or not.
Okay.
So we've used norepinephrine. It increases heart rate. It increases blood pressure. It also thickens up the blood, so it slows down bleeding, which can be
Okay.
interesting. By 30%. So yeah, let's actually do some mind victims in a second. But yeah, so norepinephrine, nitroglycerin does the opposite, except it also increases the heart rate. So it increases heart rate, decreases blood pressure, it speeds up transfusions and bleedings by 30%.
Okay.
And then the final one, phenylephrine, it decreases heart rate, increases blood pressure. So basically good for trauma. Like if someone has like a lot of blood loss, you want to decrease the heart rate, increase the blood pressure, and it will slow down bleeding by 50%.
Okay.
So those are the 3 ones that you can use to manipulate the blood pressure.
Okay.
So norepinephrine increases it, nitroglycerin decreases it. So think of it like viscosity. So nitroglycerin is used to make it more viscous,
Okay.
meaning it will
Clot more.
everything will be faster.
And I'm assuming the
then
heart rate
norepinephrine
drops
will
because the
thicken
heart's
it.
having a harder time to pump.
So
too.
the
Never
heart
mind.
rate drops like it increases for both norepinephrine and nitroglycerin.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And
Okay.
phenylephrine is the only one that decreases the heart rate, increases blood pressure.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Okay, so what? Let me check. So that was those 3. We've got the stethoscope, the suture. All right, I'll have to look at that. So, because I think the suture, it's not even mentioned in the guide. I don't think it has any effect right now.
Okay. Cool.
So you can remove that from your inventory as well. Right. Caffeine. Caffeine is it will reset your stamina. So you can give yourself caffeine tablets, and then it will reset your stamina if you've used some up.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
something anybody can use.
I think so, yeah.
That's nice.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. There's also a stretcher. Never used it though.
Okay.
There's also something called the coax sense, which you can use to see coagulation factors on the server. It doesn't matter because we don't have that system enabled.
Okay.
The nasal cannula is usually the one that you need, so you can actually see the EtCO2 and respiratory rate when you have the vitals monitor. For some reason, as soon as we use the ADX, it just tells us. I don't know why. That might be configured.
Okay. Alright, so what's the...
configuration.
Okay. I'll remember. I'll see it in the video when I watch it again.
Yeah. Then there's also a manual suction pump, which is a single-use device to remove occlusions. So that can
Manual
also be used
suction.
instead of turning on an AccuVac.
Manual suction pump.
Yep.
Okay.
Manual suction.
And how do I
pump.
apply
I
it?
don't have that in the kit. It's probably on the airway tab, and then probably manual suction pump.
Airway tab. On what body part? The head.
Yeah. Head. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So we also haven't done blood transfusions. You can do that, but then again, you need to also remember what blood type they have.
Okay.
You can see the blood type by going to their
Dog tags.
examine patient, and then check dog tags on their head. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we all have. No. Okay. So you have A plus. I think I have O neg.
Can you actually choose your own blood type?
You can choose it,
yours.
but it's
You're-
like
you're B
I have B
negative.
minus. But what about this guy? Someone had B minus. O neg minus. Yeah, that's my bot, I guess, the
Uh-huh.
copy.
The instructor.
Yeah, the instructor. Which is my copy. It's the Action AI.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I think that actually covers everything I have in the inventory, which is everything we need for the server.
Okay. Cool.
And also, I think I've actually talked about everything that
Cool
I
beans.
can see here.
Alrighty. I wonder how long this video is. So I should.
Okay,
I can
so
cut recording.
wait, have you? So one thing I would say is like, what I would do now, unless you're too tired or too, this was too cerebral for now. I would say let's do a couple of actual casualties again. So I'm just gonna shoot the guy. We're gonna see what happens. I'm just gonna let you do your thing, and then you're gonna see if you can remember what to do.
Honestly, I'd rather just watch the video a bunch of times, learn it
Mhm.
cerebrally very well, memorize every medication and everything, and then do stuff like that. But for now, I've got good enough to be a rifleman and do some basic medical shit for people, you know?
Hell yeah.
But,
Polar,
yeah. I guess
I
I
walk
think
through
that...
your tent, please fix me.
What?
Sorry, what?
Tent actually hurts. When you walk
Oh.
through the tent, you can hurt yourself.
Okay, lost some blood. Where is the injury? Medium scrape, torso. Okay, I'm gonna apply a... how do I put bandages on people through the medical menu?
It's already bandaged. It says B.
No, I
Oh,
did.
bandage. Okay, you bandaged it already.
bandaged
Lost some
myself.
blood. Minor scrape, B. But otherwise, how would I bandage somebody in the medical menu?
It would be under the bandage / fractures.
Oh, okay.
It's right of that. Yep. There
Okay,
it is.
gotcha. All right. Yeah, I'll do. You know what? Just for the video, so I could see some. You know, just in another rundown of it. Just give me one casualty to do. Give me one casualty. I'll treat
Alright.
him, and then I'll end the video.
Sounds good. Okay, so training dummy. Here we go. All right. Here you go. Have fun.
Alrighty.
Now this is like the best case scenario. We'll just drop the guy that shot him. We can all be there quickly.
Moderate bleeding. I
Do
am
you
got
need some help?
head. Moderate bleeding.
No,
lost
just
some
you.
blood, severe trauma, large effulgent, thingy thing, packing bandages.
Blood type B.
Yeah.
That's all I can do for now.
Partial large effulgent, packing bandage. Okay, lost some slow bleeding. Head. Huh? Severe trauma. I don't get why his head's bleeding. Oh, it's because his torso's still wounded. Packing bandage. Okay. He's lost a lot of blood. No bleeding. Okay, so I see this overview.
That
It really
was
is an
close.
overview. It tells you about everything in general. Okay. So, lost a lot of blood. Lost a lot of blood. So I'm going to give him, that should take, what, like 2? That should take 2, 1,000 ml blood bags, right? So I'm going to do an IV. Alright, let's see. Fuck, how do I attach an IV? What the fuck? Place, there we go, 16 gauge Gauge IV. Establish 6 on gauge IV. But since to be more efficient, I'll give him 1,000 blood and 1,000 saline. Or maybe fucking 500 plasma and 500 saline. That's what I'll do. 500 plasma. Saline. Okay. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. I should check his breathing.
Yep.
Aspiration. Yeah. So, head. Aspiration. Check breathing. Breathing normal. Oh, okay. Cool beans. No need for anything.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah. Okay, so current lost some blood. Oh shit, I think I gave him too many fluids. Didn't I?
Yeah, you kind of overpressured him, but it's okay.
Can I cancel these things?
No.
Shit. Oh,
Poke another hole.
damn it. He's already full and he's got, what?
Yeah, it's just gonna flow in there.
he's
Don't
got
worry.
1,000 more
Like it
milliliters.
done.
His blood pressure's gonna go
Right.
up, isn't it? So what's the measuring device thingies? How do I attach those? God, I have to watch this video so many times.
Okay. So right now, what are we worried about? So remember March? So M, massive hemorrhage.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a bandage, right?
Yeah.
A, airways. Have we actually made sure that the airways will be to stay stable? We've just confirmed that they're good for now, but they can still deteriorate.
Okay.
Like so far, everything you've done is like except for the order in which you're doing things. But you need to like make sure they're checked. Okay. So right now, are we worried about like since they're breathing normally? Are we worried about anything right now, except for that the wounds might open up?
I don't know what to be worried about. I'm just worried his blood pressure is going to get too high because I'm giving him too many fluids.
No, don't worry. Don't worry about that. The fluids will just like, don't worry about it.
Okay.
So now what we can do is this something actually we haven't looked at is we can establish the recovery position. So go to the chest
Go to the chest.
on advanced treatments.
Advanced treatments.
Yep.
Establish recovery position.
Establish
What is
recovery
this?
position. Yep. So the recovery position will make it that the head is basically put in a way where everything will flow out of the esophagus and just like flow out of the mouth, and then the head is also stretched out. So what
Okay.
this does is basically the airways are secured even though you don't have anything inserted.
Okay.
The reason why we don't always do this is because, for example, we cannot perform CPR right now, and if we perform CPR, it will cancel the recovery position. So as
Okay.
long as the patient needs to be on the back for any reason, we need to have something to secure the airway.
Okay.
If we don't, then we can just put them into recovery position. They can still receive fluids. We can still stitch them. We can still, I think, bandage them for most parts. So at this time, March, so massive bleeding is stopped. Airways are stable and secured. The respiratory rate, or like we looked at respiration and we know that the patient is breathing, so that's also good. And then for circulation, we've given fluids and we've confirmed they have a pulse.
Okay. Well, I haven't checked pulse yet.
Oh, because we know because they breathe.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What's the thing that's better
So
than the pulse oximeter that says the CO2 something?
It's
something?
a vitals monitor.
Vitals monitor. How do I attach that? That would be
Yep.
where.
You go to any arm and then attach vitals monitor or connect vitals monitor.
Under what category?
Any arm and then you need to go to examine patient.
Examine patient. Okay. Attach.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have one.
Pulse oximeter.
Just a pulse oximeter.
Oh, okay, wait. Then I'm gonna just do the pulse oximeter then. Alright,
Yeah.
pulse is at 111. SpO2 is full, like 100%. So that's fine.
His pulse
Okay,
rate's high.
so before we do anything, if this was like a combat environment, I would probably try to wake the patient up as soon as possible. So as soon as
Okay.
they're on lost some blood, I would start thinking about how can I wake them back up. Unless,
Okay,
of
so
course, there's other things.
medication,
In total,
adenosine,
If you
right.
have
No,
the
no.
choice to get them back up fast, you don't need to do anything. Like they can just,
Okay.
if
And
their
what-
if their airways are constructed and occluded, as long as they have SpO2 that's above 85, I think. Wait, let me check. Yeah, as long as the saturation is above 85, we can just wake them up, and they're
Okay,
gonna recover on their
reorient.
own. Yeah.
Reorienting.
So this is like where we're like, if you have the chance, you need to figure out if you can do that.
And then.
So its pulse is at 100.
So you have
I'm
to
just gonna measure
reorient
his blood
first.
pressure.
You have to reorient first before you can use carbonate. Huh?
No, it doesn't matter. But right
Okay.
now it's just probably in a lot of pain. So what I'm actually gonna do is I would recommend giving some painkillers, and I would probably say let's give some nalbuphine. So I'm
Okay.
gonna give 1 dose of nalbuphine, and they just woke up.
Oh. Okay.
So at some point they're just gonna wake up on their own as well. There's a,
Okay.
you know,
How do you
just
give Nelbuphine?
as long as they have everything else. It's in the left arm.
Left arm. Okay.
No, that's the right arm.
That's the. It's only the. Oh, it has to be a IV. Okay, I see.
From the patient's arm. Yep. It's So do you see the R and the L?
Yeah, they are
They're
in the
next
L,
to the
yeah,
patient?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's so you remember which one is which.
Okay. So, what did you give him to wake up? To get that was
Nalbuphine. So to wake up, nothing actually. He just
Nalbuphine.
woke
That's
up
a
on his own.
painkiller.
But I gave nalbuphine. It's a painkiller. But he's not in pain anymore. I wouldn't give more than 1.
Okay.
I will neutralize it for you so you see it and how it was before. I'm going to use naloxone. So naloxone, you click on the head, you give medication, and then it's naloxone.
Okay.
And so now he will go back to have pain at some point, yep.
Yeah. And then I
And
can
then
give
his
more.
pulse rate is going to increase,
Okay.
and his blood pressure is also going to increase again. So yeah,
Okay.
you see his pain? Okay, you can go and give him nalbuphine again.
What? Give plasma? What the hell? Medication. Okay, you give nalbuphine. Push nalbuphine. Yeah, I gotta watch this video a few times to get into my coconut.
And now
to memorize
something-
things.
So the wounds are not open. They haven't opened back up. That's kind of cool because I would not expect that.
Okay.
So I would have probably before the pain, I would actually have used the surgical kit
Okay.
to stitch the whole body.
Surgery. How do you use the surgical kit? Advanced treatments?
Advanced
Use
treatment.
surgical kit.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then surgical kit, full body.
I'll do that now.
Yeah, do that now. It's
Okay.
going to take probably 10 seconds.
Okay.
So the surgical time is calculated for every type of injury that is bandaged. It will add 5 seconds for each body part that has
Up to
different ones.
60.
So, no, I don't think there's a limit.
Oh, okay.
It's just, let's say you have like 5 different injuries on your torso for some reason, 5 different types. Like if you have 10,000 small velocity wounds, it will still only take 5 seconds. But if you have 10,000 small velocity wounds and 1 medium velocity wound, it will take 10 seconds. If you have 10,000 small velocity wounds, 1 medium velocity wound, and 1 avulsion, it will take 15 seconds. So it's really only the type
Okay.
that matters.
Okay.
And then like how many body parts have several different injuries. So that's
Okay.
how you calculate the
Gotcha.
that one, and I think it's also what impacts the personal aid kit time. But
Okay.
I don't know about the personal aid kit.
I'm rarely ever going to get to use that, if I even get to use it at all, ever.
Personal aid kit or what?
Oh, the personal aid kit, you can use that in the field? Thought that has to be in a
You
hospital.
need to be in a medical
Yeah,
facility.
yeah, who the fuck ever does that?
Yeah, we can use the ambulance.
Oh, the ambulance. Oh, really?
time I'm in the ambulance, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's because it's a medical vehicle. So there's vehicles and facilities.
Okay, then. That may be, yeah, that is useful. Alrighty. Okay. So we're done, huh?
Anyway, yeah,
Alrighty.
pretty much done.
Thanks for the tutorial, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you, thank you. Alrighty. Ugh.